Chapter 335. The Chen family was not to be trifled with. Chen Huanling was the vice president of the warrior guild. Moreover, the Chen family had no descendants. How could warlord Chen let it go? A cold smile flashed across Xia Chen's face. Then, he took out the memory card from the car recorder and put it back in its original position. He was afraid that someone would notice something was wrong, so he pretended to be serious. After doing all this, Xia Chen left the parking lot and drove back to the Xia family's company. After returning to the company, the first thing he did was to send Shen Zhenghao a photo of the white fox pulling Shen Jingxian into the Land Rover, along with the previous video. He knew Shen Zhenghao's email address, but he used an anonymous email address. In short, he would not be traced back to him. The purpose of this was to see if he could destroy the relationship between the white fox and the Shen family. If the Shen family knew that Chen Jinpeng was killed by the white fox, there was a 50% chance that they would draw a line with the white fox, right? After all, if they did not draw a line, once this matter was spread, it was very likely that the Shen family had found a new marriage partner, so they joined forces with the white fox to kill Chen Jinpeng and frame Xiao Chen. When that happened, how could they explain it clearly? The Shen family would probably become enemies with the Chen family because of this. Although the Chen family was not as powerful as the Shen family, it was still a life-and-death feud. How could the Chen family just let it go? The Chen family was not the cowardly Sun family. The Sun family did not dare to do anything, but it did not mean that the Chen family would not dare. When that happened, whether the Chen family killed the white fox or the Shen family and the white fox broke off, it would all be beneficial to him. Shen Jingxian, I will definitely have you. Even if I can't have you, I will not let anyone else have you. Xia Chen was a selfish and possessive person. No one in the family knew that Xia Chen's ultimate goal was to become the head of the Xia family. However, he had never said it out loud, not even to his father. He had only been quietly looking for an opportunity. In the email to Shen Zhenghao, the content said, "Why is White Fox driving Xiao Chen's car? Shen Jingxian was raped by Chen Jinpeng? There are many suspicious points." Then, the email was signed, "A Conscientious Insider." After finishing all this, Xia Chen pressed the send button, and the email was successfully sent. Shen Zhenghao was thinking about how he could cooperate with White Fox in the future and help Shen Jingmao obtain the position of young master. After all, with hero White Fox's participation, Shen Jingmao's advantage would be much more obvious. Shen Zhenghao was also a cruel and merciless person. Even though he couldn't be cruel to his children, he didn't care about people from the same clan. This was because those people had treated Shen Jingmao very coldly. Before Shen Jingmao was designated as a competitor for the heir, he was excluded. The reason was because Shen Jingmao's mother didn't bring much help to the Shen family. So from that moment on, Shen Zhenghao secretly vowed to push his son to that position. Otherwise, he would have no right to speak in the Shen family. If he failed, he could only separate from the family. In fact, such examples could be found everywhere. The Yu family of Songning, the Tang family of Songning, and so on were all separated from the main family. They failed to compete for the core of the family and left the main family to establish a new branch family. Although they were still connected to the main family, they only existed as a branch and would not participate in the affairs of the main family. Only in this way, the main family wouldn't be ruthless. After many years, they could still ease the relationship and cooperate with each other. However, Shen Zhenghao was not satisfied. If he was independent from the Shen family, he wouldn't even be as good as the ordinary families in Songning. If he wanted to become an ordinary family, he wouldn't know how long it would take for him to be independent. While he was pondering, his phone received an email. Shen Zhenghao opened it and glanced at it. He was shocked. What does this mean? Who sent this? Looking at the photo in the email, Shen Zhenghao thought for a moment and clicked on the attached video below. White Fox Hero was driving Xiao Chen's car, and Chen Jinpeng didn't succeed at all. Instead, he died in the car directly. This truth made Shen Zhenghao unable to recover for a long time. What kind of inside story was hidden in this? What kind of unknown secrets were hidden? Could it be that the person who had sex with Shen Jingxian yesterday wasn't Shen Jinpeng, but the real Xiao Chen? Everyone's thinking was different. The first thing Shen Zhenghao thought of was that since it wasn't Shen Jinpeng disguised as Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian, then the person who had sex with Shen Jingxian was still Xiao Chen's appearance. If it wasn't the real Xiao Chen, then who could it be? After all, Shen Zhenghao had suspected Xiao Chen before. Although he felt that it was impossible between him and his daughter, he found out that the person who drove Shen Jingxian back that night was indeed Xiao Chen. Moreover, when Shen Jingxian came out of the car, she looked like she was in love. Shen Zhenghao became suspicious. Of course, his thoughts were different from Xia Chen. Xia Chen looked down on White Fox Hero, but Shen Zhenghao didn't. He felt that White Fox Hero was very powerful. If White Fox Hero wanted Shen Jingxian, he could have just talked to him directly. This was an easy thing to do. There was no need to disguise as Xiao Chen to cause trouble, and there was no need to kill Shen Jinpeng just like that. Since he could kill someone without leaving a trace, why would he go through so much trouble? He could have just let him die naturally. However, the suspicious point was the cause of Shen Jinpeng's death. If Shen Jinpeng didn't do anything to Shen Jingxian, then the Shen family owed the Chen family a lot. Shen Zhenghao fell into deep thought. However, this didn't have much to do with him. He was a little annoyed that Xiao Chen had taken advantage of him. In his opinion, if Shen Jingxian hadn't done it with Xiao Chen, then her value wouldn't be what it was now. Maybe White Fox Hero would let her be his official wife. Even if White Fox Hero had a wife, she could be his official concubine, right? But now, she was just a lover who sneaked around. Thinking of this, Shen Zhenghao went upstairs to find Shen Jingxian. He knocked on Shen Jingshuan's door. After a while, Shen Jingxian opened the door with sleepy eyes. She looked at her father with some doubts. "Dad, what's the matter?" "Jingxian, look at this first." Then, Shen Zhenghao didn't say much. He directly handed his mobile phone to Shen Jingxian and let her see the content. "Oh." Shen Jingxian took the mobile phone. After looking at the content, her face changed and became a little pale. Who was so wicked to secretly take this video? Then, she clicked on the video. At first, Shen Jingxian didn't feel anything, but later, she found the problem. In fact, it couldn't be considered a problem. She knew the truth, so she could only say that this video restored the truth. "Jingxian, tell the truth. The person who touched you yesterday, was it Shen Jinpeng or Xiao Chen?" Shen Zhenghao looked at Shen Jingxian with a serious expression. "Yesterday." Shen Jingxian lowered her head. "I don't know. At that time, they all looked the same. I was confused. How could I tell?" "Jingxian, look at Dad." Shen Zhenghao said angrily, "You have been a kind and honest girl since you were a child. You have never lied. Tell Dad, what happened between you and Xiao Chen?" What happened?" Shen Jingxian pretended not to understand. Yes, she had never lied before, but she felt that she was a little degenerate now. She actually lied for Xiao Chen. "Don't think that I don't know anything." Shen Zhenghao said, "The person yesterday was actually Xiao Chen, right? You weren't willing to marry Shen Jinpeng, so you beat him at his own game and gave yourself to Xiao Chen. Who would have thought that Shen Jinpeng died accidentally? Am I right?" What are you talking about?" Shen Jingxian was stunned. "It seems to be different from what I thought. Father doesn't seem to know that Xiao Chen is the White Fox Hero? Before, after Cheng Menjing's birthday party, it was Xiao Chen who sent you back, right?" Shen Zhenghao continued to ask. "At that time, the car was parked at the door of our villa. You were in the car for so long before you got out. What did you do in the car with him?" Shen Jingxian bit her lip. She was shocked. She didn't expect her father to even know about this. Why didn't he say it before? But at this time, Shen Jingxian certainly couldn't admit it. I just sat for a little longer. Do you think I couldn't see your face when you got out of the car? Dad is an experienced person. Don't you understand? Shen Zhenghao said, Jingxian, you have changed. You have become dishonest. Shen Jingxian knew that her father must be suspicious, but she hesitated and said, Dad, what do you want me to do when you look for me? She turned from passive to active. Anyway, her father already knew. So what? It was better to ask him what he wanted. Anyway, Shen Jingxian would never speak carelessly. She couldn't reveal the matter of the white fox. Jingxian. Shen Zhenghao was also angry before, but now that he was asked by Shen Jingxian, he really didn't know what to do. What could he do? What happened had happened, and it was already irreversible. He could only reprimand her with some anger. Do you know that if you didn't have this matter, how much would the white fox hero value you? In the future, even if you can't be his legal wife, you can still be his concubine, right? But now? You can only be his lover in secret. Do you know the difference between the two of you? This is not only for the Shen family, but also for your own future happiness. Dad, I've grown up. I know what I'm doing. Shen Jingxian whispered. What do you know? So, you admit it? I don't understand. What's so good about Xiao Chen? A loser who was kicked out of the family. The Cheng family didn't want him anymore. You went to pick him up. Aren't you ashamed? Shen Zhenghao said angrily. Chapter 336. Then. What if there comes a day when Xiao Chen makes a comeback? For example, what if he has the same ability as White Fox? Shen Jingxian hesitated and asked. Him? The same as White Fox? It would be great if he could catch up to Chen Jinpeng. What kind of future can a cultivation wastrel have? Shen Zhenghao said disdainfully, but then again, even if he has the same ability as White Fox, even if he is stronger than him, what's the use? He's just an abandoned son of the Xiao family. He has no connections or background. Even if he returns to the Xiao family, he'll only be the best of the younger generation. Even if he's a stage 7 or 8 inner force martial artist, he won't be of any help to the Shen family. Can he summon the wind and rain like hero White Fox? Can he get as many precious medicinal herbs as he wants? This is because of his identity as a disciple of a big sect. Oh. Shen Jingxian sighed in her heart. Sure enough, Xiao Chen was right. He had his reasons for not exposing his identity. If he was exposed, her father would not respect him so much. Even if he had the ability to get the medicinal herbs, her father would only think that he was lucky and would not respect him so much. Do you like Xiao Chen? Shen Zhenghao asked angrily. No. Shen Jingxian shook her head and said, I will be with White Fox. You don't have to worry about this. I won't have anything to do with Xiao Chen anymore. But you can't make things difficult for him. This matter must be kept a secret, okay? As long as you can be with hero White Fox wholeheartedly, I can pretend that I don't know about this. Shen Zhenghao thought about it. Since it had already happened, there was no point in targeting Xiao Chen. He might as well ask for a promise from Shen Jingxian. Then I'll go back to sleep. Shen Jingxian said in her heart. Other than not revealing that White Fox is Xiao Chen, I will still be with Xiao Chen. On the surface, I just need to be careful. Alright, you rest. Shen Zhenghao ignored the email. Anyway, this matter had nothing to do with the Shen family. It didn't matter whether Chen Jinpeng did anything to Shen Jingxian or not. It was impossible for the Shen family to unite with the Chen family through marriage. After Xia Chen sent the message, he waited to see what Shen Zhenghao would do. He didn't send it directly to the Chen family. Things had to be done step by step, right? He enjoyed the feeling of strategizing behind the scenes. Every time it seemed that the storm was about to pass, he would continue to throw out heavy bombs, making the calm situation strange again. Of course, this was not enough. He needed to go to the hospital again to get a copy of Chen Jinpeng's autopsy report. He needed to see if Chen Jinpeng had sex before he died. Theoretically, Chen Jinpeng did not have time to shower, and he should not have used condoms. Otherwise, why would he buy birth control pills? As for Zhao Yuliang, there was no need to mention how depressed he was. Xiao Chen didn't die, but Chen Jinpeng died first. I sent a message to Xiao Chen yesterday. Why didn't Xiao Chen show up? Could it be that Xiao Chen was suspicious? That's right. Chen Jinpeng, that idiot, parked his car in front of the villa and even died in the car. Xiao Chen saw it. He definitely wouldn't enter the villa again. Even if he didn't know that there was a dead person in the car, it would be strange if he didn't suspect it when he saw a car that was exactly the same as his parked there. Chen Jinpeng was dead. Zhao Yuliang wasn't sad, but he was depressed that he couldn't complete the task that Chen Mengqiang gave him. In the future, there would be no one who could kill Xiao Chen with him. Without Chen Jinpeng, the clown, in many cases, Zhao Yuliang was somewhat restrained. For example, when he invited Xiao Chen to race, Chen Jinpeng could use the name of his underling to flatter Xiao Chen, but could Zhao Yuliang do it? Even if he humbled himself, Xiao Chen might not believe it, right? Thinking of this, Zhao Yuliang had a headache. Without Chen Jinpeng's help, it was getting more and more difficult to deal with Xiao Chen. How could he kill Xiao Chen? Now, he was like a headless fly. He had no clue at all. In desperation, he could only call Chen Mengqiang's phone. Young Master Chen Jinpeng is dead. The plan has been put on hold. Next, I want to kill Xiao Chen. It's a little difficult. I hope you can understand. Zhao Yuliang said stubbornly. Don't you have any ability? Without Chen Jinpeng, you can't kill Xiao Chen by yourself? If you have a way, you want to do it, but you can't. Chen Mengqiang hung up the phone, making Zhao Yuliang shiver. Indeed, what Chen Mengqiang said was right. Was he, Zhao Yuliang, so incompetent? Did he need Chen Jinpeng's help to do things? Couldn't he find a chance to kill Xiao Chen by himself? However, there really wasn't a good way. Zhao Yuliang couldn't assassinate Xiao Chen by himself, right? That wasn't realistic, and it was easy to be exposed. After thinking about it, he decided to call Li Shanning to see if he had any good ideas. Young Master Li, I'm Zhao Yuliang. How have you been? Aren't you coming to Songning City? Are you here? Let me entertain you. Zhao Yuliang said enthusiastically. Oh, young Master Zhao. I haven't gone yet. I plan to go tomorrow. Li Shanning said, if you didn't call me, I was going to call you. I heard that Chen Jinpeng is dead. What happened? AI, don't mention it. I don't know what happened. I don't even know who killed him. I'm completely confused. Zhao Yuliang said, with his death, I lost a right-hand man. I want to kill Xiao Chen, but I don't have a good idea. By the way, young Master Li, do you still want to deal with Xiao Chen? Yes. It's just that my grandfather was angry last time. I lost so much ancient jade. He asked me to plan before I act. This time, I can't be impulsive. Li Shanning said, let's meet and talk about it in detail. Let's see if there is a good way. Okay, then you must call me when you come. I will pick you up. Zhao Yuliang said. No problem. Li Shanning also wanted to retaliate against Xiao Chen. It just so happened that Zhao Yuliang contacted him. Before, he inexplicably killed Chen Jinpeng, which really scared him for a while. But after a day, there was no bad news about him, which also made him relieved. It seemed that no one had found out. Xiao Chen drove to the school. At this moment, it was already afternoon class. He quickly walked into the classroom. Song Huawu glanced at him and asked, "What did you do in the morning?" "I was looking for you." "You were looking for me? What for?" Xiao Chen asked. "Tomorrow night is the opening day of the Songning Summit between the righteous and demonic sects. People from both the righteous and demonic sects will come here to register for the event." Song Huawu was puzzled when she saw Xiao Chen's shocked expression. "Didn't Yi Xiaoya tell you?" "No." Xiao Chen took out his mobile phone and glanced at it. He didn't find any messages from Yi Bia. This little girl probably thought that he knew about it through other channels. After all, in her eyes, he was also a member of the demon sect. As long as she informed him to accompany her to attend the summit, he would definitely pay attention to this news. Song Huawu was a little speechless. "I'll be there tomorrow too. As the referee of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, I have to guarantee and warn these people that it will start from the summit and end after the summit. If there's any hatred during the summit, it will end after the summit." "Can people die at the summit?" Xiao Chen asked. "Then I can't do anything about it. If they die, so be it. Anyway, at the level of warriors, there will be casualties. As long as it's within a controllable range and no large-scale conflicts break out, it's fine. Their internal conflicts will be resolved at the next summit," Song Huawu said. "Then don't get to know me tomorrow." Xiao Chen said. "Don't worry, I can't say that I know you." Song Huawu said, "If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have paid attention to them directly. I would have directly intervened and become the referee." Song Huawu was very satisfied with Xiao Chen's undercover work. "Keep up the good work in the future." "Well, then are you biased towards the righteous sect or the demon sect?" Xiao Chen asked. "It doesn't matter whether I am biased or not. The Supernatural Investigation Bureau is the same as the Warrior Guild. It is a neutral organization. Of course, the Warrior Guild is gradually deteriorating now. The upper echelons are occupied by the righteous sects, so." Song Huawu suddenly stopped and just said, "Let's talk about these things later." "Oh." Xiao Chen didn't care. After all, this had nothing to do with him. He didn't have the concept of righteous sect or demon sect. Whoever provoked him would be punished, no matter where they came from. "Well, you be careful. Don't be tricked by Yi Xiaoya." Song Huawu reminded him, "Be careful not to be used as cannon fodder. This time, there are many experts from the righteous sect. Even the demon sect is divided into many sects and families. They are not monolithic. Make your move after everything is done. Don't get involved randomly. It's not good for you." "Understood. Thank you for the reminder." Xiao Chen nodded. He knew that Song Huawu said it for his own good. But to be honest, with Xiao Chen's current strength of the Qi refinement stage level 6, he was a little proud. "What did you do in the morning?" "I've been looking for you all morning." Not long after Xiao Chen sat down, he received a message from the Missy on his phone. "I went to buy medicine, but my car broke down. I went to repair it." "What's wrong?" Xiao Chen quickly replied with a message. He felt a little guilty. "My dad is treating me to dinner tonight. You should go too." Cheng Menjing replied. In fact, it was Cheng Zhongming who called Cheng Menjing and asked him to invite Xiao Chen to dinner tonight. "Okay." Xiao Chen agreed without thinking. He had a good impression of Cheng Zhongming. If Cheng Zhongming didn't let him live in the Missy's villa, he would have been living on the streets. Even though the elder heaven ancestor was there, it was the most difficult period of Xiao Chen's life. A drop of kindness should be returned with a spring. "Okay. Don't forget that I asked Jean Bebe to leave first. Don't make me wait like an idiot." Cheng Menjing said. "Of course not. I'll wait for you in the parking lot," Xiao Chen said. Chapter 337. In the afternoon, Lu Zhenming came to look for Xiao Chen. Ma Gangmen finally came out of the hospital. His injury was quite serious. Without the help of a pharmacist, he had been in the hospital for more than a month. Xiao Chen, you said that after the birthday party, there was no progress between me and Cheng Menjing. Can you help me to ask Cheng Menjing out so that we can go out and play this weekend? Lu Zhenming came over and asked. It's the weekend. I don't have time. You can make an appointment yourself. Xiao Chen waved his hand and said. Don't. Cheng Menjing said that if you don't go, she won't go either. Lu Zhenming said, Xiao Chen, can you help me? I will help you find the ancient jade. Oh, that's fine. I will try. Xiao Chen didn't know if the summit would start immediately after the registration, but it finally started. The summit was also held at night. There should be time during the day. If Lu Zhenming could really provide the ancient jade, then he could pay attention to him. Chen Jinpeng was killed by some nosy guy. Xiao Chen still wanted to keep him. This idiot always gave him good things. It would be a pity if he died like this. Xiao Chen didn't know if Chao Yuliang would succeed him. Okay, I will wait for your good news. Lu Zhenming said quickly, today is Thursday. The day after tomorrow or the day after tomorrow is fine. And, I will ask when the time comes. Xiao Chen said. He suddenly felt a little embarrassed. It seemed that he was using Miss in exchange for benefits. Although Miss was not his fiancée, Xiao Chen's guilt was heavier. When they were engaged, Xiao Chen didn't treat her well. He pursued her best friend, Shen Jingxian, in front of her. Now he broke off the engagement with her and even secretly slept with Shen Jingxian. Now he was using her to exchange for benefits. Did Miss owe him? I will go back to look for ancient jade. Lu Zhenming rubbed his hands and said flatteringly. When he returned to his seat, Ma Gangmen suddenly felt a little unhappy. Brother Ming, did you compromise with that kid? Compromise my ass. I just used him to get close to Cheng Menjing. Lu Zhenming didn't have time to tell Ma Gangmen what had happened recently. He took this opportunity to tell Ma Gangmen about Xiao Chen's identity and that he was Cheng Menjing's follower. It turns that Brother Ming is using this kid. But he really got lucky. Not only did he not get beaten up, but he also got so many benefits. Ma Gangmen suddenly realized. Not only did he not get beaten up, but he also got so many benefits. Ma Gangmen suddenly realized. Although he has nothing to do with Cheng Menjing, I feel disgusted when I think that this bastard is Cheng Menjing's ex-fiancé. If I don't kill him, I won't feel at ease. Brother Ming is really an ambitious and ruthless person. His forbearance and acting skills are really amazing. Ma Gangmen breathed a sigh of relief. If Lu Zhenming really went to Xiao Chen's side, then he would be depressed to death. Staying in the hospital for a month would be in vain. Gangmen, don't worry. You won't be beaten for nothing. It won't be long before I hook up with Cheng Menjing. I will kill Xiao Chen, Lu Zhenming said. Brother Ming, do you think that Xiao Chen is playing with you? Every time, he will cheat you of some good stuff, but you and Cheng Menjing have no progress at all. Are you giving him all the good stuff? Skinny Monkey felt that something was wrong. Although it seemed that Xiao Chen was helping Lu Zhenming, it was just pure help. There was no substantial progress. Thinking of this, Lu Zhenming also frowned. Although he was a bit of a tiger, he wasn't completely brainless. Previously, he was hot-blooded and felt that Xiao Chen could help him, so he lowered his stance and pretended to be Xiao Chen's lackey. Now that he thought about it carefully, the things that Xiao Chen could help him with were very limited. What exactly did Xiao Chen mean? Was he really going to help or was he pretending to help? Let me see this trip. If this kid is playing with me, I will King kill him. Lu Zhenming nodded, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. That's right, Brother Ming. Back when we were in second high school, we had the final say. Now that Xiao Chen is here, we've almost become his lackey. This won't do. Skinny Monkey also nodded in agreement. Recently, it was obvious that their words in the second high school were a bit less effective. This trend couldn't be allowed. Okay, I got it. Let's see if this kid is willing to follow the rules. If not, I will find someone to kill him. Lu Zhenming nodded and said, anyone can be a follower. If he is dead, I will do it. Yes, Brother Ming, think about it. With your identity and the background of the underworld, isn't it more than enough to protect Cheng Menjing? Ma Gangmen hated Xiao Chen to the bone. He couldn't wait to kill him immediately. The main thing is that guy, Chao Yuliang. If Xiao Chen is dead, can he take advantage of the situation? This kid is very bad, and the Chao family is also a bit more powerful than our Lu family. If the Cheng family wants to choose, they will definitely choose the Chao family. Lu Zhenming said, now I want to rope in Xiao Chen because I want him to restrain Chao Yuliang. But Brother Ming, you have an advantage. You and Cheng Menjing are in the same class. Chao Yuliang is too far away. Skinny Monkey analyzed. That makes sense. Lu Zhenming pondered for a moment, if this kid is willing to follow the rules, then let him live for 2 more days. If not, then don't blame me for being rude. Xiao Chen didn't know that Lu Zhenming planned to betray him, but it was nothing. In the past, Xiao Chen was afraid of him, so he had to find ways to restrain him. But now, unless Lu Zhenming found a more powerful killer, with his strength, Xiao Chen didn't put him in his eyes at all. After school, Xiao Chen waited in the parking lot for the late Mississippi. Cheng Menjing got in the car, but she said, "What is this thing? It's killing me, ? Xiao Chen was also stunned. What is this thing? He saw Cheng Menjing took out a hair clip from under her skirt. He suddenly wondered, Isn't this Jingshuan's hair clip? Jingshuan's? Xiao Chen's heart tightened. He didn't know whether he should laugh or cry. Last time, Jean Bebe found some unknown liquid, and today, Cheng Menjing found Shen Jingshuan's hair clip. He was really, yes. She bought it with me. Why is it in your car? Cheng Menjing looked at the hair clip in her hand in confusion. Has Jingxian been in your car recently? Just at your birthday party last time, Xiao Chen said, pretending that he didn't know anything. Oh. Then why didn't Bebe find it when she was sitting here? I even took it once. Cheng Menjing found it strange. I cleaned a car today. Maybe the workers saw it in the car when I was cleaning it, picked it up, and put it on the seat. Xiao Chen did find a car wash to change the seat covers today, so that Jean Bebe and the young mistress would not complain that there was something on them. That's possible. Cheng Menjing agreed with him this time. She nodded and said, I'll call her this weekend and ask her to come to my house. Then, I'll give it back to her. This weekend? Xiao Chen was slightly stunned. It seemed that the news that Shen Jingxian had been raped by Chen Jinpeng hadn't been widely spread. At least, Cheng Menjing didn't know it yet. Therefore, Xiao Chen pretended that he didn't know anything. Right, Lu Zhenming said that he wants to ask you out this weekend. Do you want to go? Did you promise him? Cheng Menjing glanced at Xiao Chen. Did he give you any benefits? Yes. He promised to find some ancient jade for me. Xiao Chen didn't hide it. Ancient jade? What do you want it for? To sell it for money? Cheng Menjing was a little confused. No. It's good for changing my physique, Xiao Chen said. It can help me practice. Oh. Cheng Menjing answered and looked out of the window. After a while, she said, then you promise him. Anyway, I'm free. If you don't think it's good, I'll turn him down. I feel that he's using you. Since Miss Cheng agreed, Xiao Chen felt a little embarrassed. You are my servant. If you're awesome, I'll be proud. Cheng Menjing said, you should work hard to practice and become a warrior as soon as possible. Then, you can go back to the Xiao family. Huh? Are you driving me away? Xiao Chen was stunned. You figure it out yourself. Cheng Menjing shook her head and stopped talking. As Xiao Chen drove, his heart was moved and filled with emotion. He couldn't understand Miss Cheng's thoughts. He felt that Miss Cheng's words were mixed with an inexplicable emotion. The place where Cheng Zhongming was treating them today was not the Cheng family's property, but a tea house. Xiao Chen knew about this tea house because it was the Xiao family's property. Xiao Chen couldn't understand why Cheng Zhongming would choose this place as the venue. In addition, he thought about what Miss Cheng had said before. Did Miss Cheng know something in advance? Could it be that the Xiao family wanted him to go back? Xiao Chen was a little puzzled. He didn't think that the Xiao family would find out that he was the white fox. He thought that no one should know about this except for Shen Jingxian and Hong Zhu. Oh, there was also Song Huawu. However, little Song Huawu didn't participate in the family's struggles. She was like a referee and wouldn't casually speak about this matter. Moreover, she had promised him. Therefore, Xiao Chen parked the car in front of the tea house. With doubts in his heart, he went with Miss Cheng to a high-class private room on the 3rd floor. Dad, Uncle Xiao. Cheng Menjing wasn't surprised that Xiao Hai was also here. Uncle Cheng, Uncle Xiao, Xiao Chen said. As expected, he followed Miss Cheng in and greeted them politely. Xiao Hai was slightly stunned. Looking at the somewhat distant Xiao Chen, he couldn't help but smile bitterly. Meanwhile, Cheng Zhongming said with a straight face, Xiao Chen, is calling your second uncle an Uncle Xiao? Xiao Chen's heart stirred slightly. To be honest, the resentment he felt when he was kicked out of the Xiao family was basically gone. After calming down, he also thought through many things. He reckoned that the Xiao family was also under pressure. After all, sometimes kicking him out of the Xiao family was equivalent to protecting him. Now that the Cheng family's anger had been vented, they wouldn't keep their eyes on him. Chapter 338. Otherwise, Xiao Chen would have been harassed by the Cheng family every day, and it would have been impossible for him to be as free as he was now. Second uncle. Xiao Chen called out, and his heart ached a little. He said that he didn't care about the identity of the Xiao family, but that was to comfort himself. Even though he was a cultivator at the 6th level of the refinement stage and had the strength comparable to a level 7 inner force warrior, Xiao Chen still felt that he was a member of the Xiao family. Xiao Chen, I know that you may hate second uncle in your heart, and you may not understand, and you may be reluctant to call me second uncle, but second uncle actually has his own difficulties. Xiao Hai sighed and said, today, I asked Brother Cheng to meet you, because I want to make it clear to you. You might not understand why you were implicated by my elder brother's false rumors. Why didn't your grandfather, your uncle, or Xiao Xiao get involved? Why did he only drive you out of the Xiao family? I understand that the son should pay his father's debts. Xiao Chen grinned, second uncle, I am not unwilling. In fact, as long as I know that you did not deliberately drive me out cold-bloodedly, I will be satisfied. At least I am much better than Tang Tang. If I am useless, I will be driven out, and if I am useful, I will get back. Your Uncle Cheng is also here today. In fact, he knows about this. At the beginning, I asked him to take care of you, so you went to Menjing and became her servant. This is not an insult to you, but a disguised protection for you. Otherwise, the Cheng family will not be able to vent their anger, and your life will be very difficult. Xiao Hai continued, at the beginning, I did not tell you this, in fact, I was afraid that you were not calm at that time. But after this period of observation, I think you have regained your calmness, and you should be able to understand our difficulties before. Of course I understand. Xiao Chen smiled and said, in fact, on the day Uncle Cheng came to me, I had already thought it through. If you don't believe me, you can ask Uncle Cheng. Xiao Hai looked at Cheng Zhongming in surprise, and saw Cheng Zhongming nodding. He was a little surprised. Cheng Zhongming did not mention this before, but now it seemed that Xiao Chen had known it all along. Xiao Chen, our Xiao family now has the help of the Sun family, and now we are gradually turning the situation around. When our Xiao family is at its peak again, it will be time for you to return to the Xiao family. Xiao Hai walked over, patted Xiao Chen's shoulder and said, "It can be considered as God's blessing for the Xiao family, allowing the Sun family, which originally could have risen in power, to suddenly lose so many people. This has given our Xiao family a great opportunity. And I believe that the Xiao family will definitely get better." Xiao Chen thought in his heart, this Sun family. Are they really that kind? This family is a little shameless. But it's okay, since they dared to cheat the Xiao family, I'll just let the white fox send your whole family on horseback riding again. But at this stage, you still have to suffer for a period of time. Xiao Hai said, "But with your Uncle Cheng looking after you, there shouldn't be a problem. Your Uncle Cheng has also agreed to try his best to delay the issue of Menjing's marriage. When the time comes for you to return to the Xiao family, your marriage will still be valid." Xiao Chen was suddenly stunned. "Me, and young miss, there will still be a day? But, what about Goddess Shen? Who wants to marry him? I don't want to have a boyfriend now." Cheng Menjing said with a slightly red face. It just so happens that Chao Yuliang made a big fool of himself. Now it's not easy to connect with the Cheng family through marriage. Cheng Zhongming said, "I don't know why Chao Yuliang went crazy that day." Cheng Menjing glanced at Xiao Chen and blushed a little. Xiao Chen now finally knew why young miss said those words in the car. It was probably that Cheng Zhongming had talked to her in advance, so young miss was considered to be on his side, so it was reasonable for her to cheat Lu Jinming with him. But, in the future, do I really want to resume the marriage with young miss? However, if young miss were to marry someone else, Xiao Chen's heart was definitely not willing. This kind of possessiveness was very strange. Xiao Chen, but there is another piece of bad news. This may affect the marriage between you and Cheng Menjing. Speaking of this, Xiao Hai paused and continued, the marriage between the Cheng family and the Xiao family must be put on the agenda. Of course, I am talking about the matter between Cheng Mengqiang and Xiao Xiao. Today, the Cheng family discussed this matter at the family meeting. Cheng Xiaofan plans to bring Cheng Mengqiang to the Xiao family to propose marriage in a few days. Oh? Xiao Chen was slightly stunned. Is it really not possible? Then, isn't there no hope for Qi Zhigao? The Cheng family will offer a lot of conditions, but your grandfather insisted that you return to the Xiao family. On this point, there is a conflict with the conditions of the Cheng family, so both sides are not willing to give in. This matter is temporarily put on hold, but your Uncle Cheng said that this time, it seems that the Cheng family is not so determined. As for the specifics, old Master Cheng didn't say anything. We will know in a few days. Xiao Hai continued. It doesn't matter if I go back or not. The important thing is that Xiao Xiao doesn't like Cheng Mengqiang. Xiao Chen said, I think Qi Zhigao is not bad. Qi Zhigao? I asked Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao can only say that she doesn't hate him. If she has to choose between the two, she will choose Qi Zhigao. Xiao Hai shook his head. I asked her who she likes, but she didn't tell me. Of course, your grandfather may not pay attention to her opinion. You are the root of the Xiao family. If you return to the Xiao family can prosper in the future. Otherwise, the Xiao family will have no successor. If you don't come back, the Xiao family will cease to exist after some time. Second uncle, please persuade grandpa. I'm really fine. It doesn't matter whether I go back or not. Xiao Chen still had a plan. The decline of the Xiao family was only temporary. Once one day, He could look down on Songning with the strength of the white fox without using the identity of the white fox. All the resources behind him would be invested into the Xiao family. At that time, the first aristocratic family in Songning would be the Xiao family. Alright, since you insist, I will go and persuade him. Xiao Hai nodded. When the Xiao family regains its glory, even if Qing Mengxiang and Xiao Xiao are together, it won't affect the relationship between you and Qing Menjiang. After all, a strong alliance will allow the two families to cooperate more closely. Well, let's not talk about this. I'm hungry. Let's eat something. Xiao Chen didn't want to talk too much about this topic. He really didn't care about it. The knot in his heart had been untied. It was enough to know that the Xiao family didn't abandon him. It didn't matter whether he went back in name or not. If he wanted to go back now, even if he used the identity of the white fox in front of everyone, no one would dare to say no. But Xiao Chen didn't think it was necessary. What Qing Zhongming and Xiao Hai didn't expect was that Qing Zhongfan brought Qing Mengxiang and Old Master Cheng to the Xiao family. This time, even Old Master Cheng went. It was enough to show the importance that the Cheng family attached to the marriage. Qing Zhongfan deliberately chose a time when Qing Zhongming wasn't at home to do these things. If Qing Zhongming was here, he would always find some reasons to object. Now that Qing Zhongming wasn't here, it was convenient for him to settle the matter. When he came back, there would be nothing to say. Qing Zhongfan actually knew that Qing Zhongming and Xiao Feng had a good relationship back then. So, Qing Zhongming definitely didn't want Qing Menjiang and Xiao Chen to break off the engagement. If Qing Mengxiang and Xiao Xiao got married, unless the Xiao family became as strong as before, it would be impossible for them to get married twice in a row. That was unrealistic. So, Qing Zhongming had always been a little opposed to the marriage between Qing Mengxiang and Xiao Xiao. This time, he didn't bring him. Xiao Yuanshan was a little surprised that the Cheng family came with so many people. When he saw Old Master Cheng, he immediately stood up to welcome him. Old Master Cheng, have you thought it through? Are you planning to let Xiao Chen return to the Xiao family? After Qing Menjiang's banquet, the Qing family began to frequently contact the Xiao family. It was just that the two families' conditions weren't the same, so it was temporarily put on hold. But today, it seemed that the Qing family intended to compromise and carry out the final negotiations. Otherwise, why would Old Master Qing come personally? He, Brother Xiao, you are still so anxious. Old Master Qing smiled, but you are right. This time, we indeed intend to agree to this condition. But, isn't your Xiao family going to make their stand? When are you going to let Xiao Xiao marry into the Qing family? This condition was stuck here. At first, the Qing family didn't want to compromise, but the Xiao family didn't want to compromise either. So, it was a stalemate. But Qing Mengxiang thought about it. Anyway, Xiao Chen's temporary return wouldn't affect killing him. He was going to die sooner or later, so what's the harm in agreeing to it first? It was just a name. However, there had to be a condition. They couldn't let Xiao Chen return so quickly. After all, Xiao Chen had returned to the Xiao family. With the Xiao family's protection, it would be even harder to kill him. So, this time, they came to set the condition. What does it have to do with this? Xiao Yuanshan couldn't help but ask. It has a lot to do with it. Old Master Cheng said, for the sake of fairness, I'm afraid that your Xiao family will go back on their words. The day that Xiao Xiao marries into the Cheng family will be the day that Xiao Chen returns. How about it? But, our two families have decided on the marriage first. This can be written in the engagement document to prevent both of us from going back on our words. Oh? Xiao Yuanshan frowned. Logically speaking, what Old Master Cheng said was reasonable. But the main problem was, wasn't it too long? Xiao Xiao was currently in middle school. When she could marry into the Cheng family, she would be at least 18 years old, right? There were still a few years left. Could there be any unforeseen events in between? Sure. Xiao Yuanshan didn't say anything. Xiao walked out of the house and looked at Qing Mengqiang, but it has to be written clearly. If it's because of your Qing family that leads to the cancellation of the engagement or other situations, this agreement will still be in effect. Xiao Yuanshan couldn't help but nod. That's right. There was a precedent of the Qing family cancelling an engagement. If the Qing family were to cancel the engagement again and not admit the matter of Xiao Chen's return, wouldn't it be a waste of effort? Chapter 339. Sure, no problem. Old Master Qing didn't say anything. Since he agreed, he wouldn't go back on his word. The reason why he broke off the engagement was because his son was killed by Xiao Chen's father, Xiaofan. It would be strange if he wasn't angry. However, to ensure fairness, there's also a condition. If it's because of your Xiao family, Xiao Chen doesn't want to return or can't return, it won't affect the engagement. Cheng Zhongfan added. Xiao Yuanshan looked at Xiao in surprise. He didn't expect Xiao to agree to this condition. Previously, when Xiao Chen was chased out of the family, Xiao was cold and indifferent. But now, because the engagement would allow Xiao Chen to return, Xiao chose Cheng Mengqiang. It seemed that no matter how much Xiao disliked Xiao Chen, she still remembered that she was a part of the Xiao family. She would do anything that was beneficial to the Xiao family. Sure, but before we officially get married, Cheng Mengqiang can't force me to do something I'm not willing to do. Xiao nodded. That's for sure. We can get along first. When you have feelings for me, we can talk about other things. Cheng Mengqiang didn't mind. The main reason he married Xiao was for the Xiao family. As for when he could touch Xiao, it wasn't important. He was a person who craved power more than anything else. Alright, Grandpa, I have no objections. Xiao said to Xiao Yuanshan. Xiao Yuanshan didn't expect things to go so smoothly. Although there were some restrictions, Xiao Chen would definitely be able to return to the Xiao family in the future. He was relieved. However, he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. The Xiao family was in dire straits. Asking Xiao Chen to return had to depend on the Qing family. How embarrassing. But there was no other way. Xiaofan was the leader of the younger generation. He was also a disciple of a big sect. His future was limitless. It could be said that with the title of the disciple and the engagement between Xiao Chen and Cheng Menjing, the third generation of the Xiao family could be said to be the sun at high noon. But now, Xiaofan was missing, and he couldn't rely on the backing of a big sect. Most importantly, he knew his own situation. He was deeply poisoned, and it was unknown how long he could live. The key point was that this poison could not be detoxified. He had already secretly seen a few powerful pharmacists, but they were all helpless. Xiao Yuanshan had already given up on treatment. He only hoped that with this marriage with the Cheng family and the cooperation with the Sun family, after Xiao Chen took over the Xiao family would be able to survive. If Xiao Chen's son could cultivate, then the Xiao family would be able to survive. Otherwise, they would really decline. If one's fist wasn't hard, then they didn't have the right to speak. Looking at old Master Cheng, who looked amiable on the surface, but spoke with a condescending tone, Xiao Yuanshan knew that he was in a disadvantageous position. Alright, family head Cheng, since both sides have no objections, shall we sign the contract? Xiao Yuanshan said. No problem. Old Master Cheng nodded his head and signaled Cheng Zhongfan to do it. Cheng Zhongfan took out his laptop and quickly printed out the contract. Then, he printed it out with a small printer. Both family heads signed their names on it, and the marriage was set. In these big families, any verbal agreement was not as important as the contract. With the contract, if they went back on their words, it was equivalent to throwing away the face of the family. Previously, because Yu Xiaochuan had a contract with the Tang family, Yu Shaochuan had no choice but to find Tang Fongbai to cancel the marriage again and again. Hehe, we are still in-laws in the future. Meng Chang, tomorrow is the day of the Songning Summit between the righteous and demon sects. Our Qing family is also invited. Bring Xiao Xiao to have a look and broaden her horizons. Old Master Cheng said proudly. With the level of the Xiao family, they couldn't be invited to participate in the Songning Summit between the righteous and demon sects. Although this summit was held in Songning City, there weren't many local families in Songning City that were qualified to participate. Other than the Tang family and Yu family that were qualified to be spectators, the Qing family that was the head of the Songning family was the Qing family. The Xiao family didn't even receive an invitation. Xiao Yuanshan didn't agree directly, but turned to look at Xiao Xiao, asking for her opinion with a questioning gaze. All right. Xiao Xiao didn't refuse. Since they were already engaged, she knew what she should do. Although she promised Cheng Mengqiang that he couldn't force her to do anything she didn't want to do, she had no reason to refuse when he asked her out. Otherwise, how could they be called an engaged couple? If they didn't even touch each other, how could it be considered an engagement? Didn't Shen Jingxian have to accompany Chen Jinpeng when he went out? Very good. Cheng Mengqiang nodded with satisfaction and said, Xiao Xiao, let's get along well. I will also treat you well. You know, I actually like you very much. It's not just because of the union of interests. After all, the current Xiao family isn't the previous Xiao family. When he said this, he concealed his true purpose. It was because it wasn't the previous Xiao family that he couldn't wait to find Xiao Xiao for a marriage alliance. The matter was settled like this. Old Master Cheng brought Cheng Zhongfan and Cheng Mengqiang away from the Xiao family. At this time, Xiao Hai also just returned. He met Xiao Chen today and talked a lot with Xiao Chen. Seeing that Xiao Chen was so reasonable and mature, he was very gratified. After all, he also hoped that the Xiao family would continue. He couldn't do it himself because his ability was limited, so he pinned his hopes on Xiao Chen. As long as the family's foundation was strong enough, even if the family head was trash and couldn't cultivate, he could still persevere and not fall. The Lu family, a gang family, could actually become one of the 9 families of Songning County, which proved this point. The overall strength was also very important. Although in many cases, there was a ruthless person in the family who could control everything, the overall strength could also make up for the shortcomings of not having a genius. Dad, Xiao Xiao. What are you all doing in the living room? Returning to the Xiao family's house, Xiao Hai saw his father and daughter sitting on the sofa in the living room the moment he entered the door. Judging from the number of teacups on the coffee table, they should have just sent away a group of guests. Who was it that visited the Xiao family? Xiao Hai, you're back. Xiao Yuanshan looked at Xiao Hai and then said, I have something to tell you. Previously, the old man of the Cheng family came and proposed marriage. Xiao Xiao also agreed. Xiao Hai was stunned. Such a big matter, and he actually wasn't at home? But thinking about it, his big brother was missing, and the family matters were all decided by his father. He didn't have any say in it, so he smiled bitterly. Dad, then, we don't insist on our conditions? The Cheng family agreed to our conditions. This is the contract of the marriage. You will know after you take a look. Xiao Yuanshan pointed at the contract on the coffee table and said to Xiao Hai. Oh. Okay. Xiao Hai quickly picked up the contract on the table and carefully looked at it. After reading it, he let out a sigh of relief. Although there were conditions on it, it was still fair. Whether it was the Cheng family breaking off the marriage or the Xiao family's Xiao Chen not willing to return, it wouldn't affect the other effects of the contract. In other words, as long as there were no problems on his side, there wouldn't be a problem. And the Xiao family naturally couldn't not let Xiao Chen return. If the Xiao family had a few successors, then there might be some resistance for Xiao Chen to return. But the problem now was that the Xiao family was looking forward to Xiao Chen's return. How about it? I think that it's good enough to meet these conditions. Xiao Yuanshan said. He really didn't have much time left. He didn't know when he would pass away, so he had to arrange everything while he was still alive. Otherwise, Xiao Hai didn't have enough courage and wouldn't have any ideas in many situations. He didn't know if he could take up the position of the family head. If he and Xiao Chen were to discuss it, then the Xiao family would be able to survive. I don't have any objections, mainly Xiao Xiao. Xiao Hai looked at Xiao Xiao, who wasn't far away. I also don't have any objections, Xiao Xiao said. Xiao Hai was a little surprised. Previously, Xiao Xiao didn't think much of Xiao Chen. When Xiao Chen was chased out of the family, she didn't say much. He didn't know why she actually agreed to Cheng Mengqiang's marriage. Seeing that her father was looking at her, Xiao Xiao explained, anyway, it's the same no matter who I marry. It's not like I can choose. Just treat it as a contribution to the Xiao family when I leave. Xiao Xiao, Dad is sorry. I didn't let you and Qi Zhigao be together. Xiao Hai said with some self-blame. It's nothing. Xiao Xiao shook her head and said, although I have a better impression of Qi Zhigao than Cheng Mengqiang, this kind of impression is only from a childhood playmate. I didn't like him when I was young. It's just that I feel that marrying Qi Zhigao is more acceptable than marrying Cheng Mengqiang. After all, Cheng Mengqiang is too scheming, I don't like him, oh? Xiao Hai was slightly stunned. Then who do you like? I haven't been in contact with many boys since I was young. Who else can I like? Xiao Xiao shook her head. Anyway, I'm going to marry someone, so it doesn't matter, this. Xiao Hai sighed. He also heard a trace of dissatisfaction and indifference towards Cheng Mengqiang in Xiao Xiao's tone. However, he couldn't change anything. He didn't have the ability to change anything. The decline of the Xiao family was also related to his mediocre aptitude. If he was also a genius and entered that sect, it wouldn't be like this, I'm going to sleep. Xiao Xiao's personality was very cold. She didn't say much and left the guest room. After Xiao Xiao left, Xiao Hai felt a little guilty. Dad, isn't it a little unfair to treat Xiao Xiao like this? This child is cold on the outside but warm on the inside. This is her choice. Xiao Yuanshan said, don't look at how she doesn't care about Xiao Chen on the surface. In her heart, she still hopes that this brother is good. Otherwise, she wouldn't have agreed to the marriage with the Cheng family. In fact, compared to the Qi family, the Cheng family isn't too different. The only difference is that Xiao Chen will return. Yes, even if we were to marry into the Cheng family, it would be good if the Cheng family didn't hit us when we were down. They wouldn't be able to give us too much help. Chapter 340. At this point, Xiao Hai couldn't help but have some doubts. The Cheng family looking for us for a marriage alliance, could it be purely because Cheng Mengqiang likes Xiao Xiao? And he can't borrow any power? What I am worried about is not that we are unable to borrow anything from them. When Xiao Yuanshan spoke to this point, he could not help but sigh and said, what I am worried about now is that the Cheng family has other motives. Oh? What intentions? Xiao Hai couldn't help but be surprised and asked in confusion. I can't say for sure. Previously, I thought that they wanted to use the marriage alliance to annex the Xiao family. After all, the Xiao family has no successor in your generation. If Xiao Xiao marries Cheng Mengqiang, then the Xiao family will be the same as the Cheng family. When you and I both leave, the Xiao family will no longer exist. After all, this is also the main reason why I feel that they have always been against Xiao Chen's return. At this point, Xiao Yuanshan paused for a moment and said, but later on, they agreed to Xiao Chen's return. I don't understand. If Xiao Chen returns, then the Xiao family won't have no successor. Then why did they do this? Ah. Xiao Hai suddenly understood. He didn't think that his father had considered so much, but now it seems that the Qing family's goal is a bit strange. Forget it, since everything is fine now, I can only think that Qing Mengqiang likes Xiao Xiao more. After all, with the Qing family's current state, there is no need for them to marry anyone. The Qing family will sit firmly on the #1 seat of the Songning aristocratic family. Moreover, I heard that old Master Qing recently broke through again. Xiao Yuanshan thought of his body's condition and was a bit worried. The old Master Qing, who was about the same age, not only had a good body, but also broke through. It wouldn't be a problem for him to live for another few decades. The Qing family could wait for Qing Mengqiang to grow up, but the Xiao family couldn't. Okay, then, should I tell this good news to Xiao Chen? Xiao Hai said, today, I met with Chen. He has grown up and is much more mature than before. He should be able to take on the position of young patriarch. Let's not. The Qing family has also set a condition. It's not good for us to go against it in advance. Anyway, it's just a matter of time. Let him stay with Qing Menjing first. Who knows, they might get angry over time. Xiao Yuanshan waved his hand and said, all right. Xiao Hai was also optimistic that Xiao Chen and Qing Menjing would be together. If the two of them were to be together, it would be like meat on both the palms of the Qing family's hands. The future leader of the Xiao family would be old Master Cheng's grandson. What was the point of annexing? However, what she was most afraid of was that old Master Cheng would not marry Qing Menjing to Xiao Chen, and then there would be nothing left. However, this was not something that Xiao Hai could worry about. He could only leave it to Qing Zhongming to think of a way to manipulate it. Xiao Chen drove the Missy back to the villa. On the way, the Missy was silent. During the meal, Qing Zhongming said a lot of hinting that Xiao Chen and Qing Menjing could be together in the future. Uncle Qing said those words because of my father. Actually, it's fine as long as we know what's going on. You don't like me, I know. When the time comes, I won't use this to threaten you. Xiao Qin said to Qing Menjing while driving. Oh. Qing Menjing heard Xiao Chen's words and felt a little disappointed. This guy, why didn't he have any sense of anticipation? Could it be that he didn't like me at all? You don't seem too happy. Could it be that you want us to continue being together? Xiao Chen saw that the Missy's mood seemed to be down, so he asked. Humph. Who wants to be together with you? Qing Menjing glared at Xiao Chen with dissatisfaction and said indifferently, I don't want to get married so early. It's good to have you as a shield. You hold the position first. When I find my true love, I will replace you. Hee, okay. Xiao Chen was stunned. He didn't expect the Missy to think so. But since he was her servant, he naturally had to think for her. Qing Menjing glanced at him and didn't say anything, so they drove back to the villa in silence. After returning to the villa, Qing Menjing went upstairs to sleep, and Xiao Chen was ready to boil the medicine, but he was stopped by Yi Xiaoye in the living room. Xiao Chen, where did you go last night? I'm still waiting for you to cook for me. Sweat. Xiao Chen forgot about Yi Xiaoye. He had promised to cook with this little girl before, but he came back late today. We ate out today. Someone is treating us. Should I cook for you now? That's not necessary. It's embarrassing to cook for me alone. Yi Xiaoye shook her head. I'll just eat some biscuits like before. No need. It'll be quick. Xiao Chen thought that Yi Xiaoye was a good person. To be honest, he was very grateful to her. If it weren't for her, he wouldn't have any martial arts. Speaking of this martial arts, Xiao Chen felt that it was a trap. As an awesome cultivator, he actually didn't have any martial arts. However, perhaps in the world of cultivators, his level was the weakest. After the other party quickly surpassed this level, there must be a higher level above the refinement stage. At that level, there might be a corresponding martial arts technique. Xiao Chen entered the kitchen and then busied himself for a while. A bowl of freshly made ramen was served. Xiao Chen was quite good at making noodles because he had been selling fried dough sticks in the morning market. So fast? Yi Xiaoye was a little surprised. She picked up the chopsticks and ate it. It was much more delicious than instant noodles and biscuits. If there's nothing else, I'll go back to my room first. You eat it yourself. Xiao Chen was in a hurry to boil the medicine. Oh, okay. Yi Xiaoye nodded. When Xiao Chen left, she took out her mobile phone while eating and began to edit a message. As soon as Xiao Chen plugged in the electric casserole, he received a push message from the Warrior Guild client. It was sent by Yi Bia. Tomorrow night, do you know about the Devil Songning Summit registration? How's the preparation going? Yi Bia asked. It's okay, how else can it be? Where are we meeting tomorrow? Xiao Chen replied. At the entrance of the Lidhua Waterfront Villa District. Do you have a car? Can you drive to pick me up? Yi Bia asked. How about a bicycle? Xiao Chen had a car, but he couldn't drive it. As soon as he drove, he would be recognized by Yi Xiaoye. Forget it, let's walk. Yi Xiaoye was also a martial artist, so she didn't feel that there was anything wrong with walking. Okay, then what time should I meet you tomorrow? Xiao Chen asked. At 5:30, the registration will start at 6:30. 1 hour, our speed is enough to walk to the place. By the way, are you confident? Yi Xiaoye said. I don't know what to do. How can I be confident? Xiao Chen asked. It's just some competitions, and there are competitions between the righteous and the devil. Whoever wins more wins in the end. Yi Xiaoye said. Oh, then we'll see. Xiao Chen was not interested in these things. He just accompanied Yi Xiaoye, and did whatever Yi Xiaoye asked him to do. After tomorrow's matter was settled, Xiao Chen was relieved. He waited for the medicinal materials to be decocted, and then continued to take them. Since he had nothing to do, Xiao Chen sent a text message to Goddess Shen and Tang Tang, asking them what they were doing. Of course, Goddess Shen's text was sent using White Fox's mobile phone number. Soon, Goddess Shen's text message came back, I'm lying down. I just woke up. By the way, my father knows that you did it yesterday. What did I do? What did I do? Xiao Chen was stunned. He did not understand what Shen Jingxian was referring to. Don't play dumb. Don't you know what you did to me in the villa? I'm talking about your identity as Xiao Chen. Shen Jingxian replied. After reading the text message, Xiao Chen was slightly shocked. Shen Zhenghao knew? He quickly asked, how did he know? Shen Jingxian deleted the text message she had sent before, and then directly called White Fox's phone number. Goddess Shen. Xiao Chen picked up the phone. Are you crazy? Call me Goddess Shen. Shen Jingxian was a little dissatisfied, you calling me that reminds me of a sentence. Behind every goddess, there is, the sentence you told me. Ugh. Don't worry. I won't F***ck you until you vomit, Xiao Chen promised. I'll let you F***ck me. Shen Jingxian said. Right, what did you say was going on before? How did Uncle Shen know? Xiao Chen smiled and didn't care. It was normal that Shen Jingxian couldn't accept the intimate relationship between the two. After all, the previous incident happened under the effect of the incense. It's like this. Shen Jingxian told Xiao Chen about the previous incident. Oh? Xiao Chen frowned. Someone had actually taken a picture of him? And someone got the video of Chen Jinpeng's car? Who the hell did this? Is someone targeting me? Would the fact that he was a white fox be exposed? But now it seemed that it wasn't, so Xiao Chen said, don't mention this again. Don't talk about me in front of Uncle Shen. In fact, Uncle Shen is right. If my identity is exposed, then the thing between us will probably be over, unless my ability can be further improved. If I am a martial artist at the 10th stage of internal force, it probably won't be a problem. Well, I know. Shen Jingxian said, I will be careful. When you are Xiao Chen's face, I will keep a distance from you. You don't have to keep a distance too much. Just do it secretly like before, Xiao Chen said. I hate you. I'm going to eat something. I'm hungry. Shen Jingxian said, I'll hang up first. Okay. Xiao Chen laughed. After hanging up the phone, Xiao Chen saw that Tang Tang hadn't replied to his text message. He was a little worried. Before, she didn't appear at Cheng Menjing's birthday party. There was no news for a long time. Xiao Chen couldn't help but worry about her situation. After thinking about it, Xiao Chen directly dialed Tang Tang's cell phone, but what he didn't expect was that Tang Tang's cell phone was turned off. It seemed that either Tang Tang changed her cell phone number, or her cell phone was taken away by her family. Chapter 341. Xiao Chen frowned. He planned to find a chance to inquire about it, but the best candidate was undoubtedly Yu Xiaochuan. But why didn't this guy ask me for help recently? After that, Xiao Chen called Zhu Yingxiong again. Xiao Chen hadn't seen this little brother for a long time. He didn't go to Cheng Menjing's birthday before. Although he was related to Cheng Menjing and Jin Beibei, the Zhu family was powerful now. They might not be humble to attend these banquets. Even if the Cheng family was the top family, as long as the Zhu family's old ancestor was there, the Zhu family's status was also superior. Zhu Yingxiong, what have you been doing recently? Why didn't you attend Menjing's birthday party? Xiao Chen asked after the phone was connected. Boss, you called at the right time. I just regained my freedom and was about to call you, but your phone was busy just now. I didn't expect you to call me. Zhu Yingxiong's excited voice came from the other side of the phone. Puff. Xiao Chen was a little speechless. Why are you under house arrest again? It's because my family found out about what happened with the Sun family before, so they didn't let me go out. Coincidentally, my old ancestor said that he wanted to take me to participate in a so-called righteous and demonic Songning summit. He said that my strength was too low, so he forced me to cultivate in seclusion at home to improve my strength. I was almost tortured to death. He gave me a bunch of inexplicable elixirs and almost sacrificed me. Zhu Yingxiong said with a sad face. Xiao Chen didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But then again, Zhu Yingxiong also participated in the righteous and demonic Songning summit? Xiao Chen suddenly thought that Zhu Yingxiong also knew the identity of White Fox. Wouldn't they meet tomorrow? So he said, you will go tomorrow too? How is your strength now? No wonder I haven't seen you for a while. Yeah, I'm going too. Boss, are you going too? Zhu Yingxiong was a little surprised. Boss, are you going back to the Xiao family? I'm too ill-informed. No, I have another identity, you know. So just pretend that you don't know me tomorrow, Xiao Chen said. Oh, no problem. It's impossible for us to sit together at that time. I don't think we'll even have a chance to talk. Zhu Yingxiong said, Boss, I'm already a martial artist at the 2nd stage of inner strength. So awesome? Xiao Chen was a little surprised. The old ancestor of the Zhu family did have some ability. Although his strength was nothing in Xiao Chen's eyes, it was very rare for Zhu Yingxiong. Hee, how can I be as awesome as you, boss? Zhu Yingxiong smiled and said, Right, boss, I heard that the Sun family was finished when I came out of seclusion. How did you fix it? I fixed it. Xiao Chen said. There was no need to hide it. After all, many people knew that it was White Fox who did it, so there was no need to hide it from Zhu Yingxiong. F*ck me, F*ck me, is this for real? So awesome? Zhu Yingxiong was surprised. Boss, you can actually let people get the wind on the horse? Yes, Xiao Chen said. Then can you help me let someone get the wind on the horse? Zhu Yingxiong asked with anticipation. Who? Xiao Chen was stunned. The young master of a big family in the province, which is the real martial family. His family is about the same size as the Shen family. King stole my fiancée. Zhu Yingxiong said angrily, this bastard harassed my fiancée while I was in seclusion. Fortunately, my fiancée was strong-willed and loyal to me. Otherwise, he would have gotten his way. If there weren't others around, this kid would have tried to force himself on her. The real martial family was a level higher than ordinary martial arts families. No matter how big the Cheng family was, they could only be called an ancient martial family. They could not be called a real martial family. Under normal circumstances, they could only be called an aristocratic family. Of course, the real martial family was also a member of the ancient martial family. The real martial family could also be called an ancient martial family. However, ancient martial families were not all real martial families. You have a fiancé? Xiao Chen's eyes widened. He had never heard that Zhu Yingxiong had a fiancé. Not long ago. After we met, I went into seclusion. My family's ancestor told me, Zhu Yingxiong said. Which family's man? Xiao Chen was stunned. Yu Xiaochuan's sister, Yu Shanshan. Zhu Yingxiong still didn't know about the grudge between Xiao Chen and Yu Xiaochuan. However, it wasn't a grudge anymore. Yu Xiaochuan was about to change. He was no longer a threat to Xiao Chen. Pfft. Xiao Chen was stunned. Yu family? Yes. Zhu Yingxiong said, although the Yu family is quite hypocritical, Yu Shanshan is definitely not. She is a very pure girl. She doesn't have many schemes. Alright, I wish you happiness. Xiao Chen thought about it. The matter between him and Yu Xiaochuan didn't seem to affect Zhu Yingxiong. After all, his daughter was married off. When the Yu family was destroyed, it had nothing to do with the Zhu family. Yes, boss. Let's talk about serious matters. Is Feng Yi okay? I won't be at ease if he doesn't die. Zhu Yingxiong asked carefully, but, can he cause trouble for you? He won't give it to me. The main thing is you. If he suspects, he will definitely suspect you. Xiao Chen said. In fact, Xiao Chen could do this kind of thing easily. Zhu Yingxiong could become enemies with the Sun family because he protected Kerlin. Of course, he could help him kill his love rival. This. Zhu Yingxiong was stunned. Then, he immediately thought that if something happened to the young master here, the first suspect would be him, Zhu Yingxiong. He wouldn't suspect others. However, he gritted his teeth and said, kill him. Otherwise, I really can't sleep. This thing has no evidence. If he really comes to me, my elder will settle it for me. Needless to say, Zhu Yingxiong was quite a ruthless person. He was more decisive, which was in line with Xiao Chen's character. What's his name? What's his strength? I will act according to the situation. Xiao Chen smiled. In fact, it didn't have to be Feng Yi. There were other ways to put people to death. His name is Ouyang Tang, but he isn't a direct descendant of the Ouyang family. He belongs to the side branch, but his strength isn't weak. I heard that he wants to participate in the competition for the young master, so he came to the summit to show his face and make a name for himself. He is completely different from us who are just spectators. Zhu Yingxiong said with some envy, a martial artist at the peak of the 4th level of inner force. Oh, I will remember it. I will see how it goes tomorrow. Xiao Chen didn't refuse. After so many years, I have to help you as your boss. Otherwise, you will be a wasted boss. Boss, be careful. It's okay to expose me, but don't expose yourself. Zhu Yingxiong quickly reminded. My identity tomorrow is White Fox. It doesn't matter if I am exposed. Anyway, the identity of White Fox had made a lot of enemies. There was nothing to be afraid of. Let's talk about it when we can find him. Moreover, Song Huawu also said that at the Righteous and Demonic Summit, it started and ended at the summit. Xiao Chen had been staying in Songning City. As long as he didn't go to the Ouyang family's territory, there shouldn't be too much of a problem. When Xiao Chen could go there, it would be the time when the Ouyang family dared to make a move. Thank you, boss. Zhu Yingxiong said gratefully. After hanging up the phone with Zhu Yingxiong, Xiao Chen's medicinal herbs were also decocted. After consuming it, Xiao Chen held the spiritual jade in his hand and began to cultivate. After changing the medicinal herbs of the prescription, it formed a burning manic in Xiao Chen's body. Following that, the energy in the spiritual jade was continuously absorbed into Xiao Chen's body. Xiao Chen began to train crazily, exerting the medicinal properties in his body to the extreme. After an hour, Xiao Chen stopped. He threw the powder of the spiritual jade in his hand into the trash can and walked into the bathroom. At this point, all the spiritual jade in his hand had been consumed, and his strength had reached the peak of the 6th level of the Qi refinement stage. Although he hadn't touched the barrier of the 7th level, Xiao Chen estimated that it was almost there. As long as he had enough spiritual jade to assist him, breaking through to the 7th level of the Qi refinement stage shouldn't be a problem. Phew. Xiao Chen didn't expect that he would make progress on the first night of the Righteous and Demonic Summit, Songning. He was different from Zhu Yingxiong. Zhu Yingxiong was just a spectator, while he really had to compete on the stage. If his strength was too weak, he could only be beaten up. However, now that he was equivalent to a martial artist at the peak of the 7th level of the inner force, he should almost be considered as the leader of the summit, right? Xiao Chen felt that the style of this summit shouldn't be high. After all, Songning City wasn't a big city, and the summits held in the city didn't have too powerful people. The night passed uneventfully. The next morning, before Xiao Chen went to school, he told Missy that he had something to do at night. When Cheng Menjing asked him what he was going to do, he only said that he was going to look for Zhu Yingxiong, so Missy didn't mind. After all, when he was in No. 1 middle school, Cheng Menjing knew that Xiao Chen and Zhu Yingxiong hung out together. At 5:30 that night, Xiao Chen walked a little earlier from school. At the entrance of the community, he saw Yi Xiaoya in tight clothes, and he was wearing a White Fox mask. White Fox, you're here. Yi Xiaoya glanced at Xiao Chen. Why are you always wearing a mask? Which sect are you from? Are you so afraid of others recognizing you? The first time Xiao Chen did a mission, it was understandable that he wore a mask. After all, many mission trial takers didn't want others to know their true identities. However, things were different now. The two of them were very familiar with each other, and they were even partners. However, Xiao Chen still wore a mask, which made Yi Xiaoya feel weird. I don't want others to know my true identity, Xiao Chen nodded. Then can you tell me which sect are you from? Okay. Yi Xiaoya nodded and didn't probe further. After all, this wasn't a big deal. If he really came from a hidden sect, it was normal that he didn't want others to know his identity. Are we leaving now? Xiao Chen asked. Is it the Zheng family martial arts dojo? Yes, it's only half an hour's walk. Yi Xiaoya said as she walked. When you get there, if you don't want to say your sect when you register, just say that you are a demonic cultivator or a rogue cultivator. Chapter 342. Okay. Xiao Chen had the same intention. Let's go. If we win, are there any rewards? Of course, there are two big shots representing the righteous sects and the demon sect. They will take out some good things to bet. When the time comes, whoever wins will get the spoils of war, and the rewards will be given according to the contribution. Yi Xiaoya said, if there are no accidents, if the demon sect wins, we should all get some rewards. I can give all of mine to you. Are you so rich? Xiao Chen found that Yi Xiaoye seemed to be very rich. It's okay. I'm a little better than you. Seeing that you are so poor, you take on all kinds of missions, so I will help you. Yi Xiaoye said. Xiao Chen found that Yi Xiaoye was really a good person. Although she came from the demon sect, her character was first class. Whether it was to Xiao Chen or to her comrade in arms, White Fox, she was very good. In Songning City, the bigger place to compete was the Zheng family's martial arts hall. However, the tragedy was that although the Zheng family's martial arts hall was borrowed, no one from the Zheng family was qualified to participate in the Righteous Demonic Summit. This was also what Yi Xiaoye said to Xiao Chen on the way, but in Xiao Chen's opinion, it was not bad. After all, the strength of the Zheng family was far worse than these demon sect and righteous sect disciples. They would be beaten up if they went up. The largest headquarters of the Zheng family dojo was located not far from No. 2 High School. This was also the reason why Zheng Xiaokuan studied in No. 2 High School. The two of them walked for about half an hour and arrived in front of a magnificent building. This was a huge antique building. The golden glazed tiles shone dazzlingly under the setting sun. High walls, heavy iron gates, and a huge plaque hung high above the main entrance. On it were three particularly eye-catching characters written in flamboyant calligraphy, Zhengjia Village. The style of this place undoubtedly revealed an ancient martial arts aura and style. It was quite similar to the gathering points of those heroes on television. Holding the righteous and demonic summits here should be similar to the ancient martial arts circle assembly. At the entrance of Zhengjia Village, there were already many martial artists who looked like heroes. It was unknown whether they were here to watch the fun or to participate in the summit. However, at the entrance of the Lu residence, there were two cultivators who seemed to be the staff of the summit. They were verifying the identity of every person who entered the Zheng residence. Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoye walked over together, only to find that the thing they were checking was an invitation. Only those who had an invitation, which was similar to a ticket, were allowed to enter. Other people were stopped. Do you have an invitation? Xiao Chen turned around and asked Yi Xiaoye. He didn't have such an invitation. Why do I need an invitation? Yi Xiaoye asked. Without an invitation, how are we going to enter? Xiao Chen pointed to the two guards not far away and said. That's for those low-level martial artists and ordinary people. Do I need an invitation? Yi Xiaoye said disdainfully. Please show me your invitation. A person who was about to enter the martial arts hall was stopped by the two guards and said coldly. I'm from the Zheng family martial arts hall. Do I still need an invitation? Xiao Chen actually knew the person who was stopped, and he was quite familiar with him. It was Zheng Xiaokuan. Someone from the Zheng family martial arts hall. This is the venue of the righteous and demonic summits. If you don't have an invitation, please leave, the guard said coldly. But, didn't we agree before that people from the Zheng family can enter and watch as they please? Zheng Xiaokuan was a little anxious. I'm really from the Zheng family martial arts hall. I have an identification card, and I've also filed it with your managing elder. Didn't you hear that I asked you to leave? Do I need to say it a second time? Look at my lips, brother, scram. The guard outside glanced at Zheng Xiaokuan contemptuously and said coldly. Zheng Xiaokuan was so angry that his whole body was trembling. However, he knew that with his strength, it was impossible for him to do anything to the two guards. He could only take out his phone and plan to contact them according to the contact information given to him by the organizer's managing elder. Motherf *Ker, get out of the way, don't block the door. Don't you understand human language? The guard outside slapped Zheng Xiaokuan's face. Not only did he slap Zheng Xiaokuan's phone, but he also spun several times on the ground like a spinning top before he fell to the ground with blood flowing from his ears. In fact, this was done on purpose by the guard. He didn't care if you were from the Zheng family or not. So what if you were from the Zheng family? You're just a weak, unranked family in the secular world. You're already out of the 9 families. What can you do? You still dare to complain? Isn't that courting death? The reason why he stopped Zheng Xiaokuan was because not far away, there were 2 black ticket dealers run by the 2 guards. They wanted to enter the door and buy black tickets so that the 2 brothers could take the opportunity to make a fortune. Previously, the 2 of them stopped a few people who originally had invitations but were obviously a little weak. They said that their invitations were fake. They had no choice but to beg with kind words. Under the guidance of the kind-hearted person, they bought black tickets and entered. However, Zheng Xiaokuan didn't listen to them and even dared to make a phone call to complain. Would the guard let him go? Are you sure you're speaking human language? Where did this dog come from? What are you barking for? The guard was smugly looking at Zheng Xiaokuan with a smug smile. He didn't expect a sneer to ring in his ear, giving him a fright. Who the F***ck is scolding me? Do you want to die? The guard turned around, but what greeted him was a slap. Bang! The guard flew out from the slap and fell on the ground not far away. Blood flowed from his orifices. Even if he didn't die, he would probably be a cripple. You! Who are you? The other guard was dumbfounded and looked at Xiao Chen in horror. Xiao Chen's slap just now had at least the inner force level of a 4th or 5th stage martial artist. And they, the guards, only had the inner force level of a 3rd stage. What does it have to do with you? Xiao Chen looked at him coldly. No. It doesn't matter. The guard took a deep breath and said carefully, "Young hero, please." He couldn't beat Xiao Chen, and Xiao Chen didn't seem to have a good temper. There was no need for him to stand up for another person and offend Xiao Chen. Moreover, the person Xiao Chen beat was a representative of a famous sect, and he was a representative of a devil sect. The 2 of them were not on the same side. Now they were only temporarily cooperating to sell black tickets. After the summit was over, there would be no relationship between them. Xiao Chen nodded and was about to go in with Yi Xiaoya. He didn't go to see Zheng Xiaokuan again because it was not appropriate for him to contact Zheng Xiaokuan with his current identity, and Zheng Xiaokuan didn't know him. The reason why he helped Zheng Xiaokuan was that Zheng Xiaokuan also stood up for him when he first arrived at 2nd high school. Although most of it was for Tang Tang's sake, no matter what, Xiao Chen was still grateful. These people who helped him, Xiao Chen remembered them in his heart. Moreover, he also didn't like the guard. You want to leave after beating up a member of the Ouyang family of Zhenwu? How dare you? A sneer came from behind Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoya stopped and turned to look at the person. They saw a young man in his 20s with an arrogant face. He was pointing at Xiao Chen at the moment. Ouyang family? Xiao Chen was slightly stunned. It couldn't be such a coincidence, could it? This person was from the Ouyang family? Yes, judging from your strength, you should be a warrior who came to participate in the summit. Which faction are you from? Tell me your name. This person was Ouyang Tang, who was mentioned by Zhu Yingxiong. He glanced at the masked Xiao Chen and said, "You are afraid of everything and wear a mask. Does it make you look different? Or do you have no face to see others?" Devil Star Sect. Yi Xiaoya looked at Xiao Chen with some annoyance. She didn't expect this guy to cause trouble as soon as he came. Was it necessary? It seemed that this guy was quite kind-hearted. Did he help when he saw injustice? What did the Zheng family martial arts dojo's people getting beaten up have to do with him? Although you beat up a small fry, you represented the demonic alliance and the society of famous families. Now, they came looking for you, right? The Zhenwu family was one of the leading families in this summit, and the Ouyang family was one of them. Yi Xiaoya had no choice but to report her sect. If Xiao Qun said that he was a rogue cultivator, wouldn't he be retaliated on the spot? Devil Star Sect? Ouyang Tang's expression changed slightly. He then said hatefully, "Good, very good. If you have the ability, let's see who's better in the competition." Devil Star Sect was not a weak sect in the Devil Sect. Ouyang Tang naturally knew that. Since the other party also had a background and was originally hostile to the Society of Famous Families, he was not in a hurry to take revenge. After all, it would be more fun to step on people in the arena. "Brother Ouyang Tang, what's wrong with you? Are you flustered and exasperated? Why are you fighting before the competition has even started? You really have a fiery temper." The person who spoke was a thin man with a gloomy face. This person was Li Shaning from the colorful Li family. He and Ouyang Tang knew each other. Both of their families were main members of the Society of Famous Families, so they had come to participate in this righteous devil summit. "Oh. So it's Brother Ing. F***ck, a disciple of the demonic alliance injured my family's staff." Ouyang Tang said angrily. "Hee, it's okay. Brother Ing will help you vent your anger." Li Shaning had come with the purpose of befriending Ouyang Tang. In the past, he was the second young master, so he could not openly interact with the other disciples of the Zhenwu family. However, it was different now. He was the heir of the family. For the sake of his connections in the future, he had to make these friends. He was now very powerful. The first thing he wanted was to level up while he was staying in the hotel for a few days. He was now a stage 7 inner force expert, so he felt good about himself. He felt invincible. Among the righteous and demon sects, inner force stage 7 was already a well-known existence. He couldn't say who he wanted to kill, but it was easy and pleasant to kill a few demon sect disciples. Otherwise, he wouldn't have boasted so much. Chapter 343. Thank you so much, Brother Ing. Ouyang Tang was overjoyed and nodded gratefully. This was because he was not sure of Xiao Chen's strength. Naturally, he was more than happy to have someone to do it for him. He had said those harsh words to Xiao Chen just to save face for the Ouyang clan. But now, he had a way out of this embarrassing situation. He said, "This person is really infuriating. He really knows how to act tough. But when he met Brother Ing, his acting has reached its limit. Brother Ing, you have the strength of stage 6 inner force now, right?" Hee. Li Shaning smiled faintly and said proudly, "I am now a stage 7 inner force martial artist." What? Stage 7 inner force? Ouyang Tang's eyes widened. One had to know that a stage 7 inner force martial artist was a top-notch existence in the Zhenwu family. In this summit, he was also a genius existence and was destined to shine. "Well, I just broke through." Li Shaning nodded. Although Xiao Chen had turned around, he had seen Li Shaning from the corner of his eye. He did not expect Li Shaning to join in the fun. Moreover, according to Li Shaning, this guy was actually a martial artist. Wasn't he too good at enduring? This was even better than Chao Yuliang's endurance. His eyeballs were about to explode, but he still endured it. He was really a **king ruthless person. Yi Xiaoya and Yi Xiaoya entered the courtyard of the Zheng family's martial arts dojo. In the courtyard, someone was registering people's identities. The two walked over. Yi Xiaoya had previously said that Xiao Chen was from the demonic star sect, so she could not change her words now. Therefore, she said, "Demonic star sect disciple Yi Biya and demonic star sect disciple Bai Hu, here to register. This is your summit qualification card. Please wear it on your chest. There are rules and regulations on the back. Take a look." The person in charge of registration was a man in his 40s. At a glance, one could tell that his strength was extraordinary. He looked cold and expressionless. "Okay, Elder Kun Tian. Yi Xiaoya obviously knew this person. She took the summit qualification card, handed one to Xiao Chen, and then said respectfully, "Do you know him?" After the two of them left, Xiao Chen asked. He was not clear about the rules here. Yes, he is a resident elder of the Demon Alliance. His strength is superb, don't provoke him. Yi Xiaoye reminded. He didn't provoke me, so why would I provoke him? Xiao Chen nodded. Where are we going next? This qualification card is the general card here, there are room numbers on it, we can go to the room to rest, or we can casually walk around here, but there is one thing you have to remember, in here, do not easily conflict with others, if there is a conflict, both sides can use the form of a battle, unless one side directly kneels down and admits defeat and gives up the qualifications to the summit, otherwise, we will have to compete. Yi Xiaoya said to Xiao Chen, if you admit defeat, you're not representing yourself but your faction. If you quit, the Demon Alliance will deduct 10 points. Therefore, not only will you be hated by the orthodox sects, but you'll also be despised by the Demon Alliance. Maybe someone will come after you after this. But if you lose, then no one will say anything about you. Oh, what if the two sides of the conflict are from the same faction? Xiao Chen asked. That would be a private matter. Whether you admit defeat or fight, you won't lose any points, but you won't lose any lives. Yi Xiaoya said. So barbaric and terrifying. Xiao Chen said. The rules of this summit were too messy. It was just like the red name map in the game, anyone could PK at will. There are still rules here. When you walk the pugilistic world, you will know what rules are. Yi Xiaoya said indifferently, at that time, the rules will be your fist. Xiao Chen nodded. Yi Xiaoya had taught him a lesson today. It seemed that the matters of martial artists were filled with cruelty. He could not come into contact with it previously, but now that he had come into contact with it, he had not fully adapted to it. Although Xiao Chen was already considered a relatively ruthless person to his enemies, he was not to the point where he would kill without a word. However, looking at these martial artists, it seemed that this was the case. So if you have the strength, try to save it for the competition at the summit. Don't talk nonsense before that. Yi Xiaoye reminded him, also, you are now representing our demonic star sect. Don't cause trouble for the demonic star sect, oh. Xiao Chen nodded. He was just here to be a bystander. He would do whatever Yi Xiaoya asked him to do. Ah, isn't this junior sister Yi? Just as Yi Xiaoya was planning to go to the room to rest according to the instructions on the qualification card, a voice sounded. Yi Xiaoya was afraid that Xiao Chen would cause trouble, so she did not plan to bring him around. She only planned to keep him in the room and wait for the registration to end before going to the venue directly. She did not expect to meet an acquaintance at the door of the room. It's senior brother Leng. Yi Xiaoya saw the appearance of the person and nodded at him, but she was not as enthusiastic as the other party. Junior sister Yi, I knew that your demonic star sect would definitely let you come this time. The person beside you is. Why is he still wearing a mask? Leng Youxiang looked at Xiao Chen with an unfriendly expression. Although Xiao Chen was wearing a mask, his masculine features were quite obvious. He was Yi Xiaoya's pursuer, so he was especially concerned about the men around Yi Xiaoya. Oh, it's my junior brother, senior brother Leng. If there's nothing else, we will go back to the room to rest. See you later. Yi Xiaoya nodded at him, obviously not willing to talk much. You are staying in the same room? Leng Youxiang was stunned, and then his expression became very ugly. People of the martial arts world do not bother about trifles. Besides, it's just a temporary break. This is my junior brother, what can he do to me? I want to rest, please go back. Yi Xiaoya looked at Leng Youxiang indifferently, and her tone was a little impatient. She swiped the qualification card, and the door opened. Yi Xiaoya went in first. Xiao Chen followed behind. Leng Youxiang also wanted to go in, but in the end, Xiao Chen blocked the door and said coldly, "This is our room, I hope you don't go in." You. Leng Youxiang did not think that Yi Xiaoya's junior brother would actually dare to block him, and immediately became angry. "Do you know who I am? You are just a small demonic star sect disciple, and you dare to block me? Senior sister asked you to go back," Xiao Chen said. "Move." Leng Youxiang stretched out his hand, and a huge cold demonic qi enveloped Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen couldn't help but be shocked. A demonic cultivator at the peak of the 8th level of inner strength. Of course, the other party did not use his full strength, he just wanted to teach Xiao Chen a lesson. However, Xiao Chen stood on the spot, not moving at all. Although he did not move, it was very uncomfortable. The cold demonic qi directly flowed from his shoulder to his whole body, causing Xiao Chen to involuntarily shiver. Motherf ****. Previously, Xiao Chen's body had a demonic qi, and now there was a demonic qi. Xiao Chen really did not know what to say. However, at this moment, Xiao Chen finally understood what Yi Xiaoya said. In this place, there were too many people who would fight over a disagreement. This place was different from the secular world. This was the world of martial artists, and the world of martial artists had to follow the rules of martial artists. The power of speech between martial artists was determined by strength. Not bad, huh? Although Leng Youxiang only used half of his strength, he did not expect Xiao Chen to be able to withstand it. He coldly looked at Xiao Chen and said, "Not bad, no wonder your sect valued you and sent you and your senior sister here. However, you better listen to me, you better not have any ideas about Yi Bia. She is my woman, and among the younger generation, only I, Leng Youxiang, am worthy of her." "Oh, what does this have to do with me?" Xiao Chen remembered Leng Youxiang's name and casually pushed him twice. "Okay, you can go out, I'm going to close the door." "Heh, very good, your strength is not weak, but you are very good at pretending. You have obviously been hit by my cold rage, yet you still pretend that nothing happened. Hehe, I hope you have a good dream tonight." Leng Youxiang did not continue to attack. Since his attack was ineffective, he did not want to make another move. In his opinion, Xiao Chen was just a small fry, and he had punished him enough. This fellow had pretentiously received his cold rage, so he reckoned that he would have to suffer the pain of cold entering his body every night. If he could not endure it, he would basically die. In Leng Youxiang's eyes, although Xiao Chen was from the demonic star sect, so what? He was just an ordinary disciple, so the demonic star sect would definitely not do anything to him because of this matter. Leng Youxiang was a genius of the younger generation in the demonic star sect. At such a young age, he already possessed the strength of a demonic cultivator at the peak of the 8th level. This meant that he was destined to become a high-level existence in the demonic star sect in the future. After Leng Youxiang left and Xiao Chen closed the door, Yi Xiaoya hurriedly asked, "Are you all right? What could be wrong with me?" Xiao Chen asked curiously. His cold rage is extremely overbearing. When the cold devil qi entered your body, did you feel anything strange? Why aren't you frozen into an ice sculpture? Yi Xiaoya looked at Xiao Chen, who looked as if nothing had happened. "Do you want me to freeze into an ice sculpture?" Xiao Chen said impatiently. When the cold devil qi had first entered Xiao Chen's body, it had indeed caused Xiao Chen to shiver. However, it had only lasted for a moment, so Xiao Chen really did not feel anything strange at the moment. Gosh! Yi Xiaoya was speechless after hearing this. However, when she thought about it, this white fox was somewhat strange. For example, when it was fighting with the demonic cultivator, its body had been invaded by the demonic aura, but it did not have any adverse effects. Thinking of this, Yi Xiaoya calmed down. Otherwise, if he was harmed by Leng Youxiang because of her, Yi Xiaoya would definitely not be able to live with her conscience. Now that the white fox was fine, apart from feeling a little strange, she was also relieved. As long as it was fine, it was fine. Therefore, she said, "All right, then let's rest for a while. We will officially attend the summit tonight." Chapter 344. However, Yi Xiaoye was still worried. "Are you sure you're all right?" After all, Xiao Chen had the demonic aura enter his body because of her. Others might not know, but Yi Xiaoye knew very well that the Wrath of the Frost Ean was known as one of the top 10 divine techniques of the demonic sect. Even if he was lucky enough to not die, it would act up every quarter to midnight. The pain was unbearable, and his internal organs would feel as if they were placed in ice. It was extremely uncomfortable. Under such circumstances, there was no way to resolve the Wrath of the Frost Ean. There were many types of demonic auras in the demonic sect. Although they looked similar, they were actually very different. Therefore, Yi Xiaoye could not do anything about it. At that time, Xiao Chen would be in so much pain that he wished he was dead. The only way to resolve it was for Leng Youxiang to resolve it himself, or for someone whose strength was higher than Leng Youxiang's level of martial arts to be able to resolve it slowly. However, Leng Youxiang was a demonic cultivator at the peak of Stage 8 inner force. No matter how powerful Xiao Chen was, he was only at the peak of Stage 6 inner force. She did not know that he was already at the peak of Stage 7 inner force. Xiao Chen was standing up for her. If Xiao Chen really lived in pain every day, then Yi Xiaoye would blame herself to death. "Do you want something to happen to me?" Xiao Chen looked at Yi Xiaoye with a bitter smile. He did not know whether to laugh or cry. "You've asked this many times, but I don't think there's any problem for now." "Who is that guy? What big move did he use? Do you know it?" "That's not it. I'm just worried that something will happen to you." Yi Xiaoye said, "Although he belongs to the demonic alliance, we are not from the same sect, so I don't know his moves. However, if you want a martial arts mental cultivation method, I should be able to help you find it. However, if you want to cultivate and resolve it yourself, it's almost harder than ascending to heaven. Demonic cultivators are more focused on physique than martial cultivators. Everyone's physique is different, so the demonic mental cultivation method and martial arts that they can cultivate are different. For example, I am a fire-type demonic cultivator, but Leng Youxiang is an ice-type demonic cultivator. How is his sect compared to your Devil Star sect?" Xiao Chen nodded and asked. The Devil Star sect is considered a relatively small sect in the Devil sect. However, many of the Devil sect saintesses have been produced in the Devil Star sect. Therefore, although the Devil Star sect is small, once a saintess appears, our Devil Star sect will become famous for a time. Yi Xiaoye said, "But Leng Youxiang's sect is relatively big, he is also the sect's main target of nurturing. This time he came here to gain experience. To have such strength at the age of 30 is indeed not easy." "Oh, so that's how it is." Xiao Chen nodded and suddenly said, "What? 30 years old? He's only at the peak of Stage 8 inner force at such an old age? Is he really a target to be nurtured? The best? The peak of the 8th layer. Do you even know what level that is?" Yi Xiaoye's eyes widened. "I know, he's just one level higher than me. Wait for me to surpass him in half a month. He actually dared to inject demonic energy into my body. I'll remember him. I'll teach him a lesson in the future." Xiao Chen was very vengeful. "You are now at Stage 7 inner force?" Yi Xiaoye was stunned. Wasn't he still at the peak of Stage 6 inner force a few days ago? "The peak of Stage 7 inner force," Xiao Chen said. Yi Xiaoye almost broke down after hearing this. She had been in seclusion for so long to reach Stage 5 inner force demonic cultivator. Even so, at her age, she was already considered an outstanding existence. She was the most promising candidate to become the Devil Sect Saintess. Of course, at this moment, she was only a candidate. The Devil sect still had to go through a series of complicated references and calculations before they could produce the next Devil sect saintess. Did you eat pills? Yi Xiaoye really couldn't understand. She had been cultivating hard enough, but how did Xiaochen cultivate? She remembered that this guy ran around outside every day, right? He fought old devil Xishan and accepted a mission. White Fox, why is your leveling up like taking an elevator? Yes, I'm the legendary big idiot, Xiaochen said. What do you mean? Yi Xiaoye was stunned. Didn't you go to the Warrior Guild forum? There's a group of big idiots on the other side of the mountain and the sea. They're really awesome when they rob buildings. They level up by taking elevators. Xiaochen explained. You still have the mood to joke around. Even if you're at the peak of stage 7, Leng Youxiang is a vengeful person. Although you can't make a move openly, you have to be careful of him harming you. Yi Xiaoye said to Xiaochen. Aren't I considered a disciple of the Devil Star sect? The Devil Star sect is so awesome that they even have a saintess. What can he do to us? Xiaochen was a little puzzled. No matter how he looked at it, the Devil Star sect didn't seem too awesome. The previous generation saintess was indeed a member of the Devil Star sect, but some problems occurred after that. I can't tell you the sect's secret. When Yi Xiaoye said this, she couldn't help but sigh slightly. So, the Devil Star sect status dropped a lot after that. Oh, I see. Xiaochen didn't ask in detail. The grudges of other sects didn't have much to do with him. Then why is Leng Youxiang still pursuing you when you have the chance to become the Devil Star sect saintess? I thought the Devil Star sect saintess can't get married. Why do they have to maintain their virginity? You've watched too much television, haven't you? Yi Xiaoye rolled her eyes at Xiaochen and said, Who said that? The Devil Star sect saintess can get married, but she can only have one husband, the Devil Star sect master. And Leng Youxiang is one of the people who has the highest chance of becoming the next Devil Star sect master. However, that's a matter of decades later. It's hard to say if there will be any changes by then. Is that so? Xiaochen didn't expect this guy to be a candidate for the Devil Star sect master. He said with some regret, but he might not have the chance. What do you mean? Yi Xiaoye was stunned. He met me. Xiaochen said. What do you mean? Yi Xiaoye's cold face turned red as she stared at Xiaochen. Yi Xiaoye's expression also stunned Xiaochen, but he immediately understood what Yi Xiaoye was thinking. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What I mean is that he provoked me, so he won't have the chance. When he becomes the sect master, he will be killed by me. It's not that he won't have the chance to pursue you. But it's almost the same. He won't have the chance if he dies. Oh. Yi Xiaoye snorted. I don't think you're that shallow. We're just partners. If you have any other thoughts, let's break up as soon as possible. Oh, I have a girlfriend. Xiaochen said. Okay, then let's rest for a while. After saying that, Yi Xiaoye lay on the bed and started cultivating. Xiaochen, on the other hand, was fine. He had no way of cultivating here. Right now, he mainly relied on medicinal herbs and spirit jades for his cultivation. Without these two things, the effects would be minimal. He might as well not waste his energy. After Leng Youxiang returned to his room, he said to a Devil Star sect disciple who was accompanying him, Junior Brother Chen, help me investigate the background of the little bastard wearing a fox mask beside Yi Bia and what he does in the Devil Star sect. Yes, Senior Brother Leng. Junior Brother Chen replied and left. But not long after, he appeared in Leng Youxiang's room again. Senior Brother Leng, I've investigated. The Devil Star sect only sent one disciple this time. It's sister-in-law Yi Bia. There's no one else? Senior Brother, did you make a mistake? Isn't he from the Devil Star sect? Damn, slut, how dare you lie to me? I don't know where you hooked up with that wild man. Leng Youxiang's eyes flashed with malevolence. He had always been an outstanding figure in the sect. The sect's resources were free for him to use, so he had long developed a domineering and arrogant personality. However, even though he was furious, but from what he could see, no matter what the background of that fox-masked man was, he would definitely die at 3:45 p.m. tonight. Very few people could survive the cold devil qi. Moreover, he wasn't afraid that Xiao Chen would do anything to Yi Xiaoya in advance. This was because his cold true qi could cause impotence. Although he was angry that Yi Xiaoya and Xiao Chen were in the same room, he observed that Yi Xiaoya was indeed a virgin, so he didn't say anything more. Now that the person wearing the fox mask had become a cripple, there was nothing he could do. Leng Youxiang snorted coldly. No matter which sect you are from, you will definitely die if you offend me, Leng Youxiang. Leng Youxiang had this confidence. This was because in this summit, he was the only important male junior of the devil sect. The other competitors for the position of sect leader didn't appear, so he could do whatever he wanted. Even if he killed Xiao Chen, it wouldn't matter. Senior brother Leng, should I investigate again? Junior brother Chen asked carefully. There's no need. Let him live a little longer. Leng Youxiang waved his hand indifferently. At 7 p.m., the righteous and demonic Songning Summit officially opened. All the disciples of the devil sect gathered in the training field of the Zheng family martial arts dojo. The challengers of the summit sat at the front, while the audience sat at the back. The entire training field was filled with people. Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoya found a seat marked with the Devil Star sect's name and sat down. Originally, Xiao Chen wanted to see how Zheng Xiaokuan was doing, but there were too many people here, so he couldn't find him in a short time. Although he could release his divine sense to search, it consumed a lot of physical strength and true qi. Xiao Chen couldn't release it endlessly, or he would die of exhaustion. Leng Youxiang brought junior brother Chen into the arena. Their seats weren't too far from Xiao Chen's side. Leng Youxiang deliberately glanced at Xiao Chen with a cold gaze, as if he was looking at a dead person. Xiao Chen was expressionless. His mask didn't have any expression to begin with. In the audience seats, a youth sat. Beside him was a beautiful girl. The beautiful girl's expression was a little cold, but the youth was very satisfied. He enjoyed this feeling very much. Xiao, there are so many aristocratic families in Songning City, but only the Cheng family and a few other aristocratic families are qualified to watch this flourishing summit. Cheng Mengxiang laughed and said proudly to the beautiful girl beside him. Oh. That's quite impressive. Although Xiao said so, her expression was as cold as usual. If the Cheng family is so powerful, why don't they go on stage to participate in the challenge? Why are they still in the audience? Chapter 345. Ahem. Cheng Mengxiang's expression froze, and he couldn't help but say, Xiao, those who can participate in the challenge are either from the real martial family or from some sections. The Cheng family is strong in Songning City, but we are not qualified to go on stage. This is how the world is. You will never truly understand what your upper-class circle is like. But, if you follow me, perhaps the Cheng family will have a glorious day in my hands. Oh. Xiao nodded, that's good. Will our child be the next head of the Cheng family? Definitely. Cheng Mengxiang nodded. In fact, he would do the same without Xiao's question. After he ascended, he would confirm his and Xiao's son as the heir of the Cheng family. In this way, it would be easier to integrate and annex the Xiao family, and outsiders wouldn't be able to say anything. Okay. Xiao didn't say anything more. She looked at the empty arena in the martial arts arena, thinking about something. Chao Yuliang went to pick up Li Shanying, so he also got a ticket. Otherwise, with his identity, it would be impossible for him to have the opportunity to watch the summit. Previously, he and Li Shanning roughly discussed the way to kill Xiao Chen. Li Shanning was more inclined to let Chao Yuliang invite Xiao Chen out, and then directly kill him. Although there might be some repercussions, after killing Xiao Chen, Li Shanning would run back to Colorful Province. The fact that he killed Chen Jinpeng couldn't be hidden forever. He didn't know if it would be dug out in the future, so he didn't care about it. Anyway, when he returned to Colorful Province, he would never come here again. Even if there was a scapegoat, it would be Chao Yuliang. But he believed that Chao Yuliang could handle the aftermath. Li Shanning's suggestion shocked Chao Yuliang. Li Shanning would do it himself? However, when he heard that Li Shanning was a martial artist with Inner Force Stage 7, he knew how powerful Li Shanning was. This guy was really good at enduring in the past. He was already at Stage 7 Inner Force. Wasn't it just a matter of time for him to get rid of Xiao Chen? Although it was very risky to kill Xiao Chen directly, Chao Yuliang couldn't hold on any longer. Cheng Mengqiang was pressing him too hard, and he had lost Chen Jinpeng's communication. He was really at his wit's end. Now, as long as he found a way to make an appointment with Xiao Chen, and Li Shanning would kill Xiao Chen, then everything would be fine. However, Chao Yuliang might suspect him afterwards, but Chao Yuliang was not a fool. He did not really want to cooperate with Li Shanning, but he wanted to use Li Shanning to kill Xiao Chen. When the time came, he would secretly record it. Once the matter was exposed, he would hand over the recording. At most, he could say that he did not help, but the responsibility would be on Li Shanning. He could say that he was forced to do so. At that time, he did not believe that Li Shanning would dare to come to Songning City to question him. Although Li Shanying's strength was superb, the warrior guild was not to be trifled with. The Supernatural Investigation Bureau would not let him go. If the Li family dared to question him for killing someone, that would be breaking the rules of the warrior level. As he was thinking, he suddenly saw that Cheng Mengqiang was also here as a spectator. He was overjoyed and quickly walked over, wanting to show off to Cheng Mengqiang, young Master Cheng. However, when he got closer, Chao Yuliang realized that Cheng Mengqiang was sitting next to him. His expression froze. When he saw Cheng Mengqiang's dissatisfied gaze, he trembled in fear. "Brother Meng Chang, what a coincidence, you're here too." My sister didn't come?" Cheng Mengqiang glanced at Chao Yuliang and asked. "She didn't come. I'm here to send Li Shanning, young Master Li, otherwise, how would I be qualified to come here?" Chao Yuliang smiled and said, "All right, if there's nothing else, I'll leave first." "Meng Chang, you're busy." "That day when I was drunk, I'm really sorry, I'm sorry." "It's nothing. My brother Chao knows that you drank too much." Cheng Mengqiang waved his hand indifferently. "Then I won't affect your date, Meng Chang." Chao Yuliang turned around and left. He was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. Fortunately, he stopped himself in the nick of time and didn't say anything strange. Otherwise, if Xiao Xiao heard it, who knew if it would be spread to the Xiao family? He already knew about the marriage between Cheng Mengqiang and Xiao Xiao, but for the marriage, the Xiao family's condition was to let Xiao Chen return. Although Xiao Xiao seemed to hate Xiao Chen, who knew if she could tell the Yi family? Therefore, Chao Yuliang could only pretend to be unfamiliar with Cheng Mengqiang and chatted with Cheng Mengqiang for a while. As for the sentence that he came with Li Shanning, it was to explain that he came through Li Shanning. Xiao Xiao shouldn't suspect Cheng Mengqiang. After Chao Yuliang left, Cheng Mengqiang secretly glanced at Xiao Xiao, but when he saw that Xiao Xiao didn't have any strange expression, he was relieved. "Chao Yuliang, this guy drank too much that day." "Xiao Xiao, you aren't angry, right?" Cheng Mengqiang said. "No, what does it have to do with me?" Xiao Xiao said indifferently. "His relationship with me is not bad. It's good that you aren't angry. This matter is over. He is pursuing my sister, you know that." Cheng Mengxiang breathed a sigh of relief. Although Xiao Zhao's temperament was a little cold, she was also indifferent to things. He was a little unsure if Xiao Xiao would be on the same side as him. If he could have the opportunity to take care of Xiao Xiao, it wouldn't be a big deal to let her know something about him, but not now. On the other side of the audience, Shen Zhenghao sat there with Shen Jingxian, and beside them stood Shen Jingmao. Jingmao, with your strength, can you participate in the challenge? Shen Jingmao insisted on participating in the Righteous and Demonic Summit, and Shen Zhenghao couldn't help but be a little worried. Dad, don't worry. With the guidance of second great-grandfather, I have now stepped into the 5th stage of inner force. Shen Jingmao said proudly. Indeed, at his age, the 5th stage of inner force was a very powerful existence. Shen Zhenghao was a little proud when talking about his son's strength. 5th stage of inner force was really amazing, but the Shen family still had other competitors with higher levels. Shen Jingmao came here to participate in the Righteous and Demonic Summit. The cultivation resources were one of the rewards, and the most important thing was that if he could show his face in the Righteous and Demonic Summit, it would also be a rich qualification for the future young master election. Ever since second great-grandfather's strength had improved, the Shen family focused on demonic cultivators, and martial cultivators were supplementary, because second great-grandfather was a demonic cultivator. When he was young, he was an in-name disciple of the demonic sect. Later, he came down the mountain and trained hard. He didn't expect that after so many years, he would have some small achievements. Therefore, the Shen family was also classified as demonic cultivators at the Righteous and Demonic Summit. In fact, the Shen family was in the middle, but sometimes they couldn't have no stand, or else they wouldn't be able to participate in the summit. Jingmao, be careful. Shen Jingxian said, if the opponent is too strong, just admit defeat. There's nothing to be ashamed of, sister, you don't understand. You can only lose, you can't beg for mercy. Shen Jingmao said, I tried my best. If I lose, it's because I'm not strong enough, no one will laugh at me. But if I admit defeat, not only will I be looked down upon, but I will also implicate the Shen family. I won't be able to compete for the position of young master in the future. Shen Jingxian knew that it was useless for her to say anything. Now that things had reached this point, she couldn't stop it. Since her brother had embarked on this path, he had to fight for it. One had to know that the number of victories at the Righteous and Demonic Summit would be recorded. It was a very important reference for the Zhenwu family's ranking every year. Therefore, if Shen Jingmao won, it would be considered as a meritorious deed for the family. If he lost, his strength was not good enough, then it wouldn't reduce the family's ranking. But if he fled without a fight, then it would reduce his points. If he won, the benefits it would bring to the Shen family were obvious. It would become a strong capital for him to rise to the top. If he lost, there would be no loss. Okay, sister will cheer for you. Shen Jingxian shook Shen Jingmao's hand. The summit was about to begin. However, when the summit was about to officially begin, and the two representatives of the Righteous and Demonic sects had already walked onto the high platform of the martial arts arena, a young challenger girl arrived late. If it were anyone else, they would have been disqualified from participating. However, the two elders of the Righteous and Demonic sects pretended to turn a blind eye at the same time, as if they didn't see her. Why does this summit have to be held at night? Can't it be during the day? Seriously, it's affecting my business. The young girl mumbled discontentedly as she walked. Many people in the audience were stunned. No one had ever dared to speak like that during the summit. The two elders of the Righteous and Demonic sects were already standing on the high platform of the martial arts arena, yet someone still dared to speak like that. It was too miraculous. However, the two elders seemed to be blind and deaf. They pretended not to hear it. The young girl mumbled as she found her seat and sat down. Those who didn't know her identity saw the nameplate in front of her and came to a sudden realization. She wasn't pretending to be pretentious, but she really had the capital to look down on everyone. Xiao Chen's gaze was a little dull. This girl. Isn't she Hongzhu? Don't look, there's nothing to be surprised about. Yi Xiaoya saw that Xiao Chen kept staring at Hongzhu and thought that he was wondering why this person was so arrogant, so she explained, although she's also from the demonic sect, she's not here as a challenger, but as a referee elder. The little princess of the Hong Clan Chamber of Commerce is someone no one here can afford to offend. The little princess of the Hong Clan Chamber of Commerce? Xiao Chen was shocked. Although he had seen the nameplate in front of Hongzhu with the words, Hong Clan Chamber of Commerce, written on it, the words, Little Princess, really shocked him. That's right, but she has another identity. She's also a competitor for the demonic sect's Holy Maiden. I just don't know if she'll develop in the demonic sect or return to the Hong Clan Chamber of Commerce in the future. Yi Xiaoya said, she looks like an amiable girl, but she's actually very sinister. Don't ever provoke her, and don't even think of trying to curry favor with the rich and powerful. If you want to chase after her and climb up the ranks, you probably won't even know how you died. Oh. Xiao Chen felt that this information was a little too much. Hongzhu was the little princess of the Hong Clan Chamber of Commerce? Then who was her older sister, Hong Yan? Chapter 346. It looks like you really have that intention. Yi Xiaoya glared at Xiao Chen, because she saw that Xiao Chen was still staring fixedly in Hongzhu's direction. I already said that I have a girlfriend. Xiao Chen glanced at Yi Xiaoya and thought to himself, it was clearly Hongzhu who seduced me. However, did Hongzhu actually have such a powerful background? The little princess of the Hong merchant group? I wonder if it's the Hong merchant group of the secular world, or the entire Hong merchant group. I'm just reminding you to be careful. None of these devil sect disciples are to be trifled with, Yi Xiaoya reminded him. Why would I provoke them for no reason? Xiao Chen said. Oh right, what's the next procedure? Next is to draw lots. The members of the righteous and devil sects will draw lots and randomly challenge each other. However, at the same time as the random challenge, you can also issue a challenge. In other words, you can issue a challenge to anyone you don't like. However, you have to note that everyone only has one chance to issue a challenge. If they accept your challenge, they have the right to refuse another challenge. Yi Xiaoya explained, however, if they directly refuse the first challenge, it will be considered as admitting defeat, and 10 points will be deducted from them. If they accept the challenge and lose, no points will be deducted. And if the challenger loses, 10 points will be deducted. This is different from a random challenge. The loser of a random challenge will not have any points deducted, and the winner will have 10 points added. Only if one side directly admits defeat will the points be deducted. Xiao Chen nodded. He felt that this rule was similar to a chaotic fight. However, in reality, such a small-scale summit couldn't possibly have so many complicated rules. Firstly, there weren't that many referees, and secondly, the conditions of the venue and environment didn't allow for it. The Zheng family only had a martial arts arena, and no other professional testing grounds. I understand. Hongzhu, she's the little princess of the Hong merchant group. What do you mean? Xiao Chen asked without batting an eyelid. See, you still like her in the end, don't you? Yi Xiaoya glared at Xiao Chen and said, I already told you not to have any ideas about her, why didn't you listen? Do you want to die? I'm just a little curious. Xiao Chen couldn't help but smile bitterly. Does everyone know her identity? I don't know about that. Most of the people here know that she is a disciple of the Sky Fox sect and has the backing of the Hong Chamber of Commerce. But that's all. Don't tell anyone that she is the little princess of the Hong Chamber of Commerce. Yi Xiaoye reminded, it's because I'm also a candidate for the Saintess that I have the information of the other candidates. These are all confidential in the Demon Gate. Then why did you tell me? Xiao asked. I'm afraid that you won't know what's good for you and cause trouble. He had just fought with Leng Youxiang. Who knew which big shot he would provoke next time? You have to be careful, maybe Leng Youxiang will challenge you. Yi Xiaoye said. Oh, whatever. Xiao Qin said it casually, but in fact, he was hesitating. He was equivalent to a warrior at the peak of the inner force stage 7, but Leng Youxiang was a demon cultivator at the peak of the inner force stage 8. There was a gap of a whole level between them. It was hard to say if Xiao Qin could defeat him. However, Xiao Qin's advantage was obvious. He had some special abilities that warriors didn't have. If he wants to challenge you, just admit defeat. Think of a way to get your 10 points back from someone else, then others won't say anything about you. Yi Xiaoye reminded him, don't be stubborn. Leng Youxiang isn't someone to be trifled with. He doesn't only have one trump card, he hasn't used it yet. I know. Xiao Qin nodded. He definitely wouldn't admit defeat. If he admitted defeat as the White Fox swordsman, it was likely that the news would spread throughout Songning City. Then, his status would plummet. If that happened, the White Fox swordsman aura that Xiao Qin had painstakingly created would be destroyed. Xiao Qin had to challenge Leng Youxiang for the sake of his White Fox swordsman title. Otherwise, Shen Zhenghao's attitude toward him would not be the same as before, and he wouldn't support him and Shen Jingxian to be together. However, Xiao Qin finally realized that there was someone even more powerful than Hong Zhu, who appeared after Hong Zhu. Moreover, Xiao Qin also knew this person. It was Song Huawu. Song Huawu, I know her. Is she also late? Xiao Qin was a little speechless. Well, she's from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Her strength isn't that great, but her background is powerful, so there's nothing anyone can do about it. Yi Xiaoye said, she's also a referee, just like Hong Zhu. However, I heard that her relationship with Hong Zhu isn't very good. Oh. What about her and you? Xiao Qin asked. She's just like me. Yi Xiaoye said, the Supernatural Investigation Bureau doesn't have close contact with the people from the righteous sects and the demonic sections. They generally have a public attitude. When Song Huawu arrived, the two elders announced the official start of the Righteous and Demonic Songning Summit. However, there didn't seem to be any challenges today. The two elders expressed a series of long-winded sighs, talking about the grudges between the righteous and demonic sects. Today, the purpose of the Righteous and Demonic Songning Summit held here is to resolve the conflict between the righteous and demonic sects on a small scale. It will be resolved within a controllable range. In addition to the challenges by drawing lots, everyone can also arrange for a fight. However, after leaving this venue, I hope that everyone will abide by the agreement. Do not break your promise and force conflict with your opponents. Here, the representative of the Hong Chamber of Commerce, Hong Zhu, and the representative of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, Song Huawu, are watching. If anyone breaks their promise and is discovered to have done so, the Hong Chamber of Commerce's trading rights will be permanently revoked. They will also be blacklisted by the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. At that time, you will have to bear the consequences. Elder Wang, who represented the righteous and demonic sects, said, that's right. The grudge between the righteous and demonic sects has been going on for a long time. There are constant small conflicts between them. The purpose of this summit is to resolve the grudge. However, if you can resolve it in private, you don't have to attend this summit. Therefore, since you are here, you must abide by the rules. Elder Su, who represented the demonic sects, said, all right, I won't say much. Everyone has a number on their qualification card. We will randomly select a pair of challengers based on the number. As for the challenge rules, I won't go into detail. Everyone here is an elite from their respective sects or famous experts in the underworld. You all understand. That's all for today. Everyone, take a rest. Tomorrow, you will rest during the day. At night, the summit will officially begin. Elder Wang nodded and said. All right, the meeting is over. Elder Su said. That's it? Xiao Chen was stunned. He didn't expect to come here tonight and listen to the two elders' long-winded speech. There was no substantive content at all. Then what else do you want? Yi Xiaoya said, today, some of the challengers have just arrived. Their mental state isn't particularly good. How can they challenge? Then, can we leave now? Xiao Chen asked. Why leave? You still want to go back? Of course, we'll all stay here. Yi Xiaoya said matter-of-factly. Huh? I'll stay in the same room as you? Xiao Chen was stunned. Nonsense. So what if you have other rooms? Why don't you stay in the same room as that Leng Youxiang? Yi Xiaoya glared at Xiao Chen. Are you thinking too much? No. Xiao Chen quickly shook his head. Hey, I say, Xiao Yi, why do you always think that I have feelings for you? Don't tell me you have feelings for me. How is that possible? Yi Xiaoya snorted. I'm the demonic sect saintess candidate. Who do you think you are? Then don't think about those useless things. I'm just a little surprised. But don't worry, I won't do anything to you, Xiao Chen said. Oh. I don't think you dare. Yi Xiaoya said, if you sleep with me, the demonic star sect will send people to hunt you down. You scared me to death. Xiao Chen curled his lips. When I take off my mask, who will know who I am? The blood in my body will fuse with your body at that time. At that time, they will be able to find you based on the information of the bloodline. It doesn't matter if you have a mask or not. Yi Xiaoya said, are you a demonic cultivator or not? Why don't you know anything? Are you like a newbie who just debuted? I didn't know anyway. If I knew, I wouldn't ask you everything, Xiao Chen said straightforwardly. According to the rules, the two elders and the two referees left first. Then, the challengers left their seats. The two of them followed the others and walked out of the martial arts arena. Finally, the audience left. Although there were no challenges today, the audience was very satisfied. After all, this kind of atmosphere and the feeling of having so many experts was also a kind of qualification. Those who could come here to be the audience were also the best of the various aristocratic families. There were also relatively famous rogue cultivators and people with prestige in the business world. Little bastard, I'll be waiting for you tomorrow. I hope you won't admit defeat directly. That would be too boring. When Xiao Chen walked out of the venue, he found that Leng Youxiang had not left. Instead, he was waiting at the door. He stuck out his middle finger at Xiao Chen and made a vulgar gesture. Then, he turned around and left with his junior brother while laughing. The reason why he wanted to provoke Xiao Chen was actually because he hoped that Xiao Chen would accept the challenge. After all, it was impossible for them to be drawn together by drawing lots. No matter how random it was impossible for a demon sect disciple to go against a demon sect disciple. Then, the only thing left was the challenge. However, a demon sect disciple could completely reject the challenge. Then, Xiao Chen would have 10 points deducted and Leng Youxiang would have 10 points added. The demon sect's total points would not change. Therefore, if Xiao Chen admitted defeat, other than losing face, there would not be any loss to the demon sect. The demon sect would also not hold him responsible for anything. Leng Youxiang was afraid that Xiao Chen would do that, so he provoked him in advance. Is there something wrong with this person's head? Xiao Chen looked at Leng Youxiang's back and said, how old is he? Why is he acting like a child? Chapter 347. Xiao Chen's words immediately attracted the laughter of the surrounding warriors. Who laughed? Leng Youxiang suddenly turned around and shouted, who is it? Alright, let's meet in the arena tomorrow. Don't talk about these useless things. Xiao Chen said indifferently. Humph, let's wait and see. You have a sharp tongue. Leng Youxiang snorted coldly and turned to leave. His words once again attracted a burst of laughter from the crowd. After all, he was the one with the sharp tongue first, and now he was using it to criticize others. Xiao Chen shook his head. This Leng Youxiang's intelligence didn't seem to be very high, but he could imagine it. He stayed in the sect all year round and didn't go out. Other than cultivating every day, he was also the kind of person who was spoiled and arrogant in the sect. It would be strange if he was mature. His personality was just that of an overbearing child. Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoye walked together to the door of the room. However, his back was suddenly patted by someone. This speed that came and went without a trace shocked him. He just sensed that someone was coming from behind, and in the end, he was hit. If this person wanted to sneak attack him, it would be really hard to guard against. But then again, in the rules of the summit, it also prohibited the challengers from sneak attacking each other. They could only challenge each other face to face or challenge each other in the arena. Sneak attacks were despised. Jing Mao. When Xiao Chen saw the person, his heart relaxed. It wasn't that he wasn't vigilant, but his subconscious automatically classified Shen Jingmao as an unguarded person. Therefore, even if he had divine perception, he wouldn't think that Shen Jingmao was a dangerous person. Big brother White Fox, why are you here? Shen Jingmao was a little surprised. He didn't expect to meet an acquaintance here, and it was his sister's boyfriend. This time, Shen Jingmao could also see that Shen Jingxian didn't particularly reject the relationship with White Fox. Therefore, Shen Jingmao didn't have any enmity towards White Fox. Anyway, the two of them would definitely be together in the future, so there was no need for Shen Jingmao to be cold and distant. I came to join in the fun. What about you? Are you here to participate in the challenge? Xiao Chen was a little surprised. It seemed that Shen Jingmao was here to participate in the challenge, because ordinary spectators were not allowed to reach the accommodation area. They had to leave near the martial arts practice grounds. Yes, I'm here to participate on behalf of the Devil Alliance. Big brother White Fox, you're also from the Devil Alliance, right? Shen Jingmao asked excitedly. This feeling was like meeting an old friend in a foreign land. In the past, he had some hostility towards Xiao Chen, but now it was gone. He felt that Xiao Chen was one of his own. That's right. Xiao Chen nodded. I didn't expect the Shen family to be devil cultivators too. Yeah, big brother White Fox, I'll see you tomorrow. Shen Jingmao saw that there was a beautiful woman beside Xiao Chen. At a glance, he could tell that her strength wasn't ordinary. To be able to stand here, she belonged to the ranks of the challengers. Her inner strength was definitely not inferior to his, because the minimum requirement to participate in the challenge was the 5th level of inner strength. Therefore, Shen Jingmao tactfully did not continue to stay. However, he was a little sad in his heart. Sure enough, the White Fox swordsman had other women, and his sister had already been harmed by Qin Jinpeng once. Moreover, she was not a martial artist. The White Fox swordsman would not put her in a high position. However, Shen Jingmao certainly wouldn't say these words. He waved his hand at Xiao Chen and prepared to leave. Right, is your sister here? Xiao Chen suddenly asked. My sister is here. She's in the audience. She and father should have gone back. I'm a challenger, so I live here. Shen Jingmao said. Okay, then see you tomorrow. Xiao Chen nodded. It turned out that Shen Jingxian also came. He was a little excited, but in this way, it was even more impossible for him to admit defeat. Shen Zhenghao and Shen Jingxian were looking at him. If he admitted defeat, the reputation of White Fox would be completely ruined. See you tomorrow. Shen Jingmao suddenly felt a little happy. Hero White Fox asked about his sister's matter in front of the beautiful girl. It meant that he didn't intend to hide his relationship with his sister. That also meant that he really regarded his sister as his woman. This way, his sister wouldn't be in an awkward position in the future. She wouldn't be unable to lift her head in front of other women. Thinking of this, Shen Jingmao was relieved. He planned to go back and tell his sister the news. After entering the room with Yi Xiaoya asked, "Who is that person? Do you know him?" "He's my girlfriend's younger brother." Xiao Chen explained, "He is also the challenger this time." Oh. After Yi Xiaoya heard it, she didn't ask any more. She just said, "Let's rest." This room was a standard room with 2 beds. Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoya each took a bed and lay down. Since when did Xiao Chen sleep so early? Therefore, he simply didn't sleep at all. He was a little bored and played with his phone. After Shen Jingmao returned to his room, he called his sister, Shen Jingxian, and told her the good news. He thought that his sister would be happy. Shen Jingxian was indeed very happy, but after hanging up Shen Jingmao's phone call, she sent a text message to Xiao Chen, "Hey, I didn't disturb you, right?" Xiao Chen looked at Shen Jingxuan's text message and slapped his forehead. This Shen Jingmao, his mouth is really fast. But he replied, "She is my partner who usually does missions. I have nothing to do with her." "Humph, what does it have to do with me? I'm just a second-hand woman beside Master White Fox. I should be happy," Shen Jingxian said. Although her brother didn't say so just now, he also hinted at it. Shen Jingmao was being kind, but it made Shen Jingxian angry directly. "Jingxian, are you jealous?" Xiao Chen didn't answer but asked directly. "No, I'm just joking. You also participated in the summit? Then you should be careful tomorrow. Help me take care of Jingmao." Shen Jingxian didn't continue to pester him. In fact, she was just a little jealous, but she also knew that she couldn't interfere with Xiao Chen's business. Xiao Chen was participating in the summit. How could she provoke the relationship between him and his partner? In fact, even if there was something, as long as this person wasn't someone around her and had no interaction with her, she could accept it. "I will, don't worry," Xiao Chen said. "And then I'm relieved. I was worried that Jing Mao would have a problem." Shen Jingxian let out a sigh of relief. She didn't know why, but she trusted Xiao Chen very much now. She felt that whatever Xiao Chen promised, he would be able to achieve. "Your phone is beeping. Can't you adjust it to vibrate? So annoying." Yi Xiaoya turned over on the bed and stared at Xiao Chen. "Yes." Xiao Chen turned his phone to silent mode, but Shen Jingxian didn't send any messages. She was probably afraid that Xiao Chen was busy. "I'm thinking, if I knew you were so troublesome, I wouldn't have brought you here." Yi Xiaoya just thought about it. Xiao Chen provoked Leng Youxiang the moment he came. If they really fought tomorrow, she would have to clean up the mess for him. "Damn, it's not your fault. That guy is your pursuer." Xiao Chen was speechless. "Yeah, I'm just afraid that you will get beaten up." Yi Xiaoya said, "Forget it. I won't talk about it anymore. Go to sleep. You don't have dinner tonight?" Xiao Chen thought she was just resting for a while. He didn't expect Yi Xiaoya to sleep directly. "I won't eat. I won't be hungry when I sleep," Yi Xiaoya said. "Then I'll go out and buy something to eat." Xiao Chen had a headache. He still had to tell the miss that he wouldn't go back tonight. "You have to eat. Eat, 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 eat. Why are you so hungry? Will you die if you don't eat?" Yi Xiaoya was helpless. She got up from the bed and said, "Let's go. I'll go with you. I'm afraid that you will fight with others." Hee, I don't like to cause trouble." Xiao Chen couldn't help but smile bitterly after listening. "Actually, I'm hungry too. I was afraid that you would go out and cause trouble, so I came back to sleep directly. Since you insist, I'll go and eat too. Yi Xiaoya mumbled as she put on her shoes. She didn't take off her coat. After all, she was a girl. It was inconvenient for her to take off her clothes. The two went out of the room together. At this time, there were not many people outside. Most of the challengers had already gone out to eat, or they had already rested. Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoya strolled all the way to the Zheng family's gate. They didn't encounter anyone who provoked them, which made Yi Xiaoya feel relieved. However, along the way, they saw Zheng Xiaokuan. Zheng Xiaokuan had a bruised nose and a swollen face, but he had already applied medicine. At this time, when he saw Xiao Chen, his eyes immediately lit up, and he ran over quickly. Young hero, thank you for your help before. I'm very grateful. No, it's nothing. Xiao Chen waved his hand and said, is there any delicious food nearby? Ah. Yes, there is. Young hero, and this heroine, let me treat you to a meal to express my gratitude. Don't refuse, otherwise, I don't know how to thank you. Zheng Xiaokuan said quickly. Xiao Chen didn't answer, but looked at Yi Xiaoya. He didn't know if she allowed outsiders to eat together. Oh, that's fine. You can find any nearby snack. It's fine as long as you can eat your fill. Fast food is the best. Yi Xiaoya said. She was afraid that she and Xiao Chen were unfamiliar with the place and people. What if they encountered trouble around here? Now that there was an acquaintance, they could find a restaurant to eat. After eating, they could go back to sleep. Okay. Both of you, please. Zheng Xiaokuan was a little excited. These high-level warriors were generally eccentric. They wouldn't deal with low-level families like them. Moreover, the Zheng family was getting worse and worse. It was no longer among the Songning 9 families. Zheng Xiaokuan wanted to develop his family. If he could make friends with some powerful people, it could be considered as a helping hand for the family. This time, the Zheng family took the initiative to hold the righteous and demonic Songning summit for free. In fact, the Zheng family wanted to make contact with these high-level warriors, leave a good impression, and then use this opportunity to develop. But obviously, these people didn't take the Zheng family seriously at all. In the eyes of these people, it was reasonable for the Zheng family to provide the venue. They had to provide it even if they didn't want to. Chapter 348. Asking you to provide is already giving you face. Do you dare not to provide? This mentality made the hot-blooded Zheng family very hurt, but there was no other way. After Zheng Xiaokuan was humiliated at the door, he also reported it to the summit working group through his father, Zheng Yudao, but they didn't take it seriously at all. It's better to have strength. Zheng Xiaokuan was a little envious of White Fox in front of him. He slapped the gatekeeper disciple to death, but he was still fine. This was strength. The car that Zheng Xiaokuan drove was an Audi Q7. Zheng Yudao deliberately let Zheng Xiaokuan use this car. His purpose was to let Zheng Xiaokuan get to know some big shots. But in fact, after Zheng Xiaokuan was beaten up, Zheng Yudao's heart turned cold. In his opinion, those experts didn't even bother to make friends with them. His thinking was too simple. In fact, these masters came from various sects and families. Who would have the time to make friends with the children of those small families? Wasn't that too boring? Seeing that White Fox was giving him face, Zheng Xiaokuan was very happy. Young hero, heroine, please get in the car. Get in the car? Can't we just find a place to eat? Xiao Chen was slightly stunned. We still have to walk for a while. This place is closer. Zheng Xiaokuan said quickly. Alright, let's go. Xiao Chen had no choice but to nod. Yi Xiaoya didn't have any objections. She was thinking about how not to bump into others. Seeing that Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoye were giving him face, Zheng Xiaokuan was very happy. He got in the car and said, "How do I address you two heroes? Thank you so much for the previous matter. He is White Fox, and I am Yi Bia." Yi Xiaoye didn't hide it. "We are from the Devil Star sect. You don't have to do this. It's just a small effort." "Ah, then I will call you White Fox and Heroine Yi," Zheng Xiaokuan said quickly. "It's up to you." Xiao Chen said, "What are the benefits of the Zheng family summit this time?" "It's nothing much. At most, it will bring some fame to the Zheng family." Zheng Xiaokuan smiled bitterly as he drove. "It's quite different from what I imagined. I thought that our Zheng family, as the host, would be able to get to know some disciples from big families and big sects, but now, you think too much." Yi Xiaoye said bluntly, "Only this guy is nosy. The others just treat you as ordinary people. It's only right that you provide the venue." Zheng Xiaokuan blushed and said, "Heroine Yi, you don't have to attack me like that. In fact, I understand. However, your people are really nice. They are actually disciples of the devil sect, but they are much better than those hypocrites from the righteous sects. You're a reasonable person." After Yi Xiaoye heard this, she was very happy. "We, the devil sect, only cultivate a special mental cultivation method and act a little strange, so they say that we are bad people. In fact, there are too many hypocrites and villains in those righteous sections." As they spoke, the car stopped in front of a big restaurant. This was the best restaurant in the vicinity. It was called Tianxian Restaurant. The reason why they chose this place was that the Zheng family had shares in this restaurant. The lobby manager obviously knew Zheng Xiaokuan. As soon as he arrived, he warmly booked the most luxurious private room for him. Zheng Xiaokuan respectfully invited Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoye to the private room, then asked, "What would you like to eat?" "Anything is fine." Xiao Chen waved his hand indifferently, and Yi Xiaoye was even more so. Therefore, Zheng Xiaokuan personally went downstairs to order. However, after a while, Zheng Xiaokuan did not return, but he saw the lobby manager rushing back. As soon as he entered the door, he said, "You two, bad news. Young Master Kun has been detained. He is in the private room next door. He wants you to go and get him." "Oh?" Xiao Chen was slightly stunned. Zheng Xiaokuan can't even handle these things in the secular world? Is he being detained? I have to go and get him back. Who detained him? Yi Xiaoye was also a little puzzled. How could Zheng Xiaokuan be detained in the hotel? "I don't know, but young Master Kun said that the other party knows him, and the other party also wants you to go," the lobby manager said. "Okay, take me to see." No matter what, Xiao Chen couldn't ignore Zheng Xiaokuan. This guy was his classmate. Yi Xiaoye felt that Xiao Chen was a little nosy, but she still followed. In the private room next door, Xiao Chen did not knock on the door. He directly kicked it, and the private room door immediately opened. Ouyang Tang was feeling good these days. He had just broken through to the 5th stage of inner force and was preparing to show his face at the righteous and demonic Songning summit. The Ouyang family was also one of the top martial arts families in the province, so the family's disciples also entered the summit's working group. However, he didn't expect that he would be humiliated before he could even show off his power. His family's disciple was beaten half to death, and his own face was refuted. However, he was not stupid. He invited Li Shanning to the banquet today. Li Shanning was now a martial artist at the 7th stage of inner force. In his opinion, if Li Shanning were to make a move, White Fox would definitely die. Those who could attend the summit were at least at the 5th stage. Therefore, if Ouyang Tang made a move, it would be difficult for him to win. His main goal now was to please Li Shanning, and then everything would be fine. Ouyang Tang naturally chose the most luxurious restaurant nearby to treat. However, just as he was about to enter the private room, he saw Zheng Xiaokuan, who had just returned from ordering. He took a closer look. Isn't this the culprit who caused the trouble previously? If it weren't for this kid, would White Fox and his own disciple have a conflict? Looking at his cheerful expression, Ouyang Tang guessed that this kid probably invited White Fox to the banquet. This was great. He didn't have to wait until tomorrow to deal with White Fox. Therefore, he directly detained Zheng Xiaokuan and asked the waiter to inform the people in the private room to come and get him. What he didn't expect was that as soon as he sat down, a door plank flew in and directly smacked him on the head, causing him to see stars. Who? Who? Ouyang Tang shouted. Li Shanying, who was sitting on the seat, was also shocked. This time, Xiaochun did not hold back his strength. The strength of the peak of the 7th stage of inner force was completely revealed. Xiaochun wanted to end the battle quickly. If the other party was a martial artist, they would naturally not dare to act rashly after seeing his strength. If it was an ordinary person, just the door panel being kicked down would be enough to deter them. When Li Shanying saw the person who came, his expression became solemn. The peak of the 7th stage of inner force. He looked at Xiaochun with some surprise. This person's strength was actually so high, even higher than his? So it's the two of you. What's the matter? Xiaochun said indifferently. He didn't believe that Li Shanying would dare to attack him after seeing his strength. It would be better if he attacked him. With White Fox's identity, he wasn't afraid of getting into trouble, lest this guy kept trying to kill him. I really didn't expect White Fox to be a demonic cultivator at the peak of the 7th stage of inner force. Li Shanying waved his hand at Ouyang Tang, signaling him not to act rashly. Even he felt that this opponent was difficult to deal with. Nothing, I was just joking with you. Although Ouyang Tang was arrogant, he was not a fool. His face twitched. He knew what the peak of the 7th stage of inner force meant. He immediately let go of Zheng Xiaokuan. Xiaochun walked over and patted Zheng Xiaokuan's shoulder. Are you okay? I'm fine. Zheng Xiaokuan was very grateful. He didn't expect White Fox to stand up for him again. Joking? If there's nothing else, I'm leaving. Xiaochun pushed Ouyang Tang aside and then walked to the door with Zheng Xiaokuan. White Fox, see you in the arena tomorrow. Li Shanying said coldly. Then, he waved his hand and revealed his strength as a martial artist at the 7th stage of inner force. Xiaochun looked at him. He didn't know where this guy got his courage from. Challenging the peak of the 7th stage of inner force? Was this a heavyweight? Where did his confidence come from? Without saying much, Xiaochun left with Zheng Xiaokuan and Yi Xiaoya and returned to the private room next door. At this time, the dishes were placed on the table. When Xiaochun left, Ouyang Tang let out a sigh of relief. He was so scared just now that he almost peed his pants. Peak of the 7th stage of inner force. He couldn't help but worry. Brother Ing, that guy is actually at the peak of the 7th stage of inner force. Are you confident tomorrow? If you can't, then forget it. Ouyang Tang was also trying to provoke him. He deliberately said this to see Li Shanying's attitude. He's at the peak of the 7th stage of inner force today. I'm not sure tomorrow. Li Shanying sneered. There was a reason why he was so sure. He didn't dare to fight here today because he wasn't confident. But tomorrow would be different. The colorful Li family had a high status in the Zhenwu family. In this generation of the colorful Li family, someone had already become the vice president of the secular World Warrior Guild. The third generation of the Li family was likely to become the president of the Warrior Guild in the next few decades. This was because the Li family had already started to make arrangements, including Li Shandiao. He was trained to be the successor since he was young, but Li Shandiao was a little rebellious and went out to play racing. However, the Li family wasn't worried. After all, a martial artist's life was very long. They let Li Shandiao play for a while, and when he got bored, he would go home. Who would have thought that Li Shandiao's car would fall off a cliff and shatter into pieces? Even a martial artist at the peak of the 4th stage of inner force would not be able to survive in such a situation. The Li family had no choice but to start training Li Shaniying. Compared to Li Shandiao, Li Shaniying yearned for the power of the warrior guild more. He knew that the eldest son of the Li family, Li Shandiao, could do whatever he wanted. However, he wasn't. There were other disciples in the Li family. If he didn't do well, the Li family could replace him. So he had to do his best to prepare for his rise. It was said that the Li family was also in contact with the other side to see if they could let him take over the engagement directly. Chapter 349. Secretly, Li Shaniying also began to frequently contact some of the prominent disciples. Leng Youxiang was one of them. Although the Li family was a righteous sect, after they entered the warrior guild, they were a little mixed between good and evil. After all, the warrior guild did not discriminate against demonic cultivators. Therefore, in order to ensure their position, Li Shaniying looked for Leng Youxiang. The two of them hit it off immediately. Having the same enemy made it easy for two people to share a common enemy. When they talked about the White Fox hero, Li Shaniying successfully built a relationship with him. After all, the two of them had a bright future. This kind of identity was easy for the two of them to accept each other. Although Leng Youxiang could also challenge Xiaofan tomorrow, both of them were demon sect disciples, so it was a little unjustifiable. Although it was not a big problem, the final result of the summit would not be affected by who won or lost. Therefore, unless it was absolutely necessary, Leng Youxiang did not want to challenge himself. Now that Li Shaniying was here, he was happy to let Li Shaniying do it for him. Although he could not see Xiao Chen's true strength because Xiao Chen did not make a move, he could tell that Xiao Chen was at least stage 6 or stage 7 inner force from the fact that Xiao Chen was able to withstand his frigid wrath. And he also revealed a piece of information to Li Shaniying. That was, no matter what Xiao Chen's current strength was, as long as 3/4 after tonight, then Xiao Chen's strength would plummet the next day, and his mental state wouldn't be good. As long as the frigid wrath was released, Xiao Chen would definitely be tortured and his strength would be greatly reduced. Therefore, Li Shaniying wisely chose to retreat today. Tomorrow, he would get back at him with interest. What do you mean? Ouyang Tang was stunned. Nothing. Just watch the show tomorrow, Li Shaniying said calmly. Let's eat. Oh, okay. Ouyang Tang shouted. Waiter, change a private room for me. Although these people did not dare to provoke Xiao Chen, the waiter did not dare to offend them either. He quickly changed a private room for them. Xiao Chen, Yi Xiaoya, and Zheng Xiaokuan ate something quickly and went back. The previous incident had affected Xiao Chen's mood. Li Shaniying did not fight back, so he had no reason to kill him. He wanted to see if he could challenge him tomorrow and get rid of this trouble. He was not afraid of Chao Yuliang. Right now, he had the thought of leading a monkey behind the scenes. There was a mastermind behind Chao Yuliang, but there was nothing behind Li Shaniying. The reason why Xiao Chen kept Chao Yuliang alive was because he wanted to lure the mastermind out. Although he could interrogate him directly, that way, the mastermind would be alerted and hide the truth or deny it. Xiao Chen would not be able to do anything about it. As for Li Shaniying, Xiao Chen and Li Shaniying became enemies because of Li Shaniying. Therefore, in order to continue to cause trouble for Li Shaniying, Xiao Chen would directly get rid of him at this summit. Zheng Xiaokuan, if you have nothing else to do, don't show up at the summit again. They can't deal with me, but they can deal with you. Xiao Chen reminded him. He did not want anything to happen to Zheng Xiaokuan. This classmate was still very good. At least, Zheng Xiaokuan was an upright person. He obviously liked Tang Tang, but when Tang Tang was with him, she only had blessings, no hatred, and no sabotage, which meant that Zheng Xiaokuan was a worthy person. I got it. Zheng Xiaokuan replied simply. At this moment, he could see that it was indeed very dangerous for him to stay here. It was too easy for these people to kill him. Therefore, after sending Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoye to the door of Zheng's house, Zheng Xiaokuan drove away. Why do I feel that you are a little concerned about Zheng Xiaokuan? Is there something wrong with your sexual orientation? Yi Xiaoye was a little puzzled. Your thoughts are really special. I just think that this person is not bad. We use his martial arts school, but we are being targeted. It's really a bit wrong. There is only strength in the world of martial artists. Yi Xiaoye said, you are really a rookie who just started your career. They returned to the room, and nothing special happened. Yi Xiaoye lay down and rested. Xiao Chen took out his mobile phone and saw that there was a missed call. It was actually from Miss Cheng. Xiao Chen remembered that his mobile phone was set to silent mode, but it was not appropriate to call her directly in front of Yi Xiaoye, so he sent a message, Miss Cheng, I have something to do tonight, so I won't go back. It was too noisy just now, so I didn't hear the phone call. Oh, I was wondering why you didn't answer it. You don't need to come back. Jing Xian is here, and she is accompanying me. Cheng Menjing's text message came back quickly. Jing Xian is there? Why is she going today? Xiao Chen was stunned. Shen Jingxian should have just left from the summit. Why didn't she go home but went to Miss Cheng's place? Right, the Shen family found a new fiancé for her. She invited me to go with her tomorrow to check it out for her. Cheng Menjing replied. Pfft. Xiao Chen almost threw his mobile phone. What is Goddess Shen playing at? If I bring Miss Cheng here tomorrow, what if she recognizes me? He didn't know that Shen Jingxian was also afraid that one day she would be exposed, so she wanted to give Miss Cheng a heads up in advance. Anyway, it wasn't her fault that she didn't recognize him. She was just comforting herself. Really? Then I don't have a chance. I'm so sad. Xiao Chen could only reply like this. Otherwise, what else could he say? Don't let Miss Cheng go? What was the reason? Cheng Menjing took the mobile phone and showed it to Shen Jingxian next to her. Look, Xiao Chen still has a crush on you. How is it possible? How can you believe his nonsense? Shen Jingxuan's heart tightened, and she smiled. Right, Jingxian, there is something I heard, but I haven't asked you. Cheng Menjing put away her mobile phone and said with a solemn expression, I heard that before Chen Jinpeng died, Shen Jingxian tried hard to make herself look sad, but her heart was full of happiness and sweetness. How could she be sad? Ah. Cheng Menjing carefully looked at Shen Jingxuan's reaction and found that she didn't have obvious emotional changes, so she said, what does it feel like? I heard that, it will make people want to die. Is that true? Won't you know if you try it yourself? Your fiancé doesn't live with you every day. If you want to know, there are plenty of opportunities. Shen Jingxian said with a red face. Yeah, Jingxian, you are blushing. It must be very comfortable, right? Cheng Menjing looked at Shen Jingxian curiously. Just say it. What is there to say? Shen Jingxian said, in fact, it's nothing. I was in a daze at the time. I didn't feel much, of course, Shen Jingxian lied. In fact, she was still conscious, but how could she tell Cheng Menjing about such a shameful thing? Oh. Cheng Menjing was a little disappointed. Then, are you satisfied with your current fiancé? There is nothing to be satisfied about. This person, I heard that he is a very powerful martial artist. I am now a broken flower. At best, I am a mistress and a concubine. It is not official. However, in my situation, I can bring some benefits to the Shen family. Shen Jingxian said helplessly. If that's the case, then you might as well marry Xiao Chen. It can be considered as fulfilling that guy's dream. Cheng Menjing said. N. Shen Jingxian was stunned, and her heart skipped a beat. I'm kidding. Don't be nervous. Cheng Menjing smiled and said, I mean, Xiao Chen has been pursuing you. I am afraid he really likes you. In fact, when I think about it, Xiao Chen is also quite pitiful. He was expelled from the family, and then he has to compromise with me. Pitiful? Shen Jingxian thought in her heart, those who were trampled to death by him are the pitiful ones. Xiao Chen is living a comfortable life now. I think he is enjoying living here with you, right? You are his fiancée. Forget it. Let's not talk about this. Cheng Menjing also had some headaches about the relationship with Xiao Chen. She also understood her father's hint, but can it really be done? She was a little confused. To be honest, after getting along for a period of time, Cheng Menjing didn't hate Xiao Chen as much as before. She felt that he was a good person, but the key problem was that he didn't like her at all. Humph. If you don't like me, then don't like me. I don't like you either. I have many pursuers, such as Lu Jinming, such as Chao Yuliang. You are just blind. Menjing. Shen Jingxian suddenly said. N? What? Cheng Menjing came back to her senses and asked. Do you remember that when we lived in your house, we talked about it? If you and Xiao Chen got married, and he kept pursuing me, what should I do? Shen Jingxian pretended to recall and asked. Oh, I remember it. I said that he should pursue me. If he is capable, he can get you back as a concubine. I will also have a bestie. Cheng Menjing smiled indifferently. Really? Are you so generous? Shen Jingxuan's breath stagnated, and she was a little nervous. Can you really let him pursue you? Cheng Menjing smiled. He. Shen Jingxuan's smile was a little unnatural. Previously, when I had a fiancé, you didn't. I was quite envious of you. I thought that you would definitely find an excellent man in the future, but I didn't expect that you actually came to this step today, Cheng Menjing said with some sympathy. Chen Jinpeng is really not a good thing. He still wants to harm you before he dies. It's nothing. It's fine as long as you think it through. Shen Jingxian said weakly. Now. I feel that I'm quite good. Xiao Chen isn't as bad as I thought, Cheng Menjing said. In the blink of an eye, things remain the same, but the people have changed. Everything has changed, yeah, I also feel that. Xiao Chen is completely different from before. Shen Jingxian felt that she and Cheng Menjing could no longer speak freely without reservation like before. And this guy really knows how to disguise. Cheng Menjing nodded. Although there were a lot of topics between bestie, the two also chatted until late at night. However, every time Shen Jingxian opened her mouth, she had to think about it first. This kind of small talk made her exhausted. On the other hand, Cheng Menjing looked relaxed. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.